making history. Absolutely phenomenal.
And Ace is the champion of the Intel Extreme Masters World Finals.
Storm's still not quite done. MC is going to take this fight, though. 3 seconds left.
Last 2 rounds of matches got to start it well for ESC.
And this is a massive move for Zez, but he's not content with just a Nexus kill. He wants to win.
And it's all done. And Charlotte's winning.
Unbelievable Rogue with a 4-0 victory over Classic.
And they did it again in the grand finals. It's Goldie!
Give it up for your Intel Extreme Masters World Champion!
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final day. Welcome back to the final open qualifier of the IEM Katowice 2024 qualifiers. I'm, of course, your Slight VIP, and with me, I'm joined for the first time in years, Poppy. It's been far too long. It's myself and AsherBro.
Yo, what's up? I haven't missed too many casts, have I? You don't cast that often, right?
It's fine, Poppy. It's been decades, Poppy. It's been centuries. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I missed you, Poppy. I missed you. But here, while I have you, I have some TBTs for you. I have some TBTs. Just for Asher.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I am ready. I'm fully ready. Because down here in the bottom right hand corner, we have got a friend of the stream, a friend of ours. It is for Platinum Heroes, Vindicta or Mix.
And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the German Terran player. We haven't casted him in quite some time. It is No Mercy. Yeah, it's been a while.
No, Messi's a homie too. I've seen him a lot.
Yeah. We used to cast him a lot more frequently back in OSC King of the Hill, right? OSC King of the Hill. He was one of the Senthix boys. But ever since then, I haven't been able to see him too often. So it's good to see him back. Good to see him back.
Yeah, it was him, Soon, and Shark Ripper.
Yes.
Boys.
You remember them, Bobby. You remember.
Yeah, but they play League now together.
That's just what you want to believe, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Aye. But yeah, it's good to have you back, Asher. You've been gone for a while, but the meta hasn't shifted too much. I think you kind of took a bit of a break around the new patch, the start of the new patch. And there have been some changes, of course, with the new Cyclone, some new adaptations when it comes to the meta. As already we do have the Reapers duking it out. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like Vindicta will be losing out a little bit on that fight, just taking a couple extra shots on that Reaper, but he will stick around to see what's going on. So he's actually gone for a fast expand here, and he's just using this Reaper to put on a little bit of pressure and keep the units across the map for as long as possible. But No Mercy had an SCV across the map before, so he doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah, the CC is already about to finish up for Migs. Meanwhile, as you were mentioning, No Mercy, he went double gas, went for a fast factory, delayed TC, but he's already getting into his Cyclone aggression here. And again, Cyclones have been kind of a pretty big part of the early game, I feel, of TVT. And there are some players that even kind of mass them as well, with reactor Cyclone production, and yeah, things can get a little bit chaotic.
Yeah, I think this is actually the map that people usually do the mass Cyclone on. I've seen... I think it was Clem vs. Beyond doing a mirror of mass cyclones. Yeah. So you go to 8 cyclones, I think it is, and you try to deny the third from landing. It can be really annoying to deal with. It usually comes across the other player doing that same sort of thing, but Vindicta's actually going for a bit of a cheese here. This is something that Clem used to do very often, but has kind of stopped doing. It's going to be a Marauder Hellion cheese, and I actually think because of how people are relying a lot more now on Cyclones for the defense, this is going to be a lot more effective.
Yeah, exactly. Really interesting, as you were saying, we're just rushing into Concussive Shell. We have Hellions on the way, and the Medics as well to drop across the map. And I mean, thankfully for No Mercy, is getting into a faster tank production, actually. He's already got a second tank on the way, which will help, but he has to be careful to be caught out. The Marauders, they can still chew through not just Cyclones, but also tanks.
Yeah, so if that Marauder can drop on top of the tanks, it's going to be pretty effective. The Cyclone's going to be a little bit annoying to deal with, but catching him coming across the map is going to be quite brutal if that does happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be so close here as No Mercy is going for his own push. His first tank is Cyclone. Likewise, Hellions going to be moving out as well. The Cyclone has been spotted here from No Mercy, and things are going to be a little bit chaotic here as No Mercy is racing back home.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of this Vindictor has seen. It looks like, there we go, the tank has been revealed, so the Marauder will be able to catch up. It looks like he wants to drop right on top of that tank. And yeah, he's going to be going for it right now. Some nice micro coming out from No Mercy. Just going to save those key tech units and try to get the tanks in position.
Oh yeah, saves the tank, saves the Cyclones as well. We pull back to the safety tank at the natural base, and No Mercy, he is going to be holding for the time being. We do have the medevac, we can drop into the main base, but No Mercy, he does keep up with the rotation.
Yep. Shows the Liberator as well. That's a little bit unfortunate. That Liberator would have been able to do a lot of damage back at home for Vindictor, but he should be able to prepare for it now.
He should be able to. Good juggling for No Mercy. At the same time, the Hellions, they do dive into the natural base on top of the tank. The boys are being pulled into Hellion fire.
Yeah, gonna get some okay damage on the SCVs, only 3, probably not exactly what he was looking for there, but gets the Hellions out of there. And have to remember as well that he did in fact go for a fast expand, so he's economically ahead on top of this. It looks like a fairly even game to me though, and this attack's gonna be scary coming out from No Mercy if he does choose to counterattack.
Yeah, I mean, No Mercy is kind of keeping up in the economy overall. We do see Migs moving out through the map. He does have some sort of Hellions to try to catch his opponent here as No Mercy. He's committing to a main push. The Liberator staying with the main army as well. The tanks have been spotted and Migs is in position.
Yeah, pulls back the Hellion because he is, you know, he's still pretty young. He has been saying that because he's 23 now, he's an old man, but that is, of course, only old man in StarCraft terms.
Yeah, exactly. You know, retired at this point already. Smoked. So the armies are going to be sieging her in the center of the map. We had to disable on the Dropper sorry, on the medevac even, which was interesting. The Liberator does take a lot of damage, and No Mercy, he doesn't engage. He does back off.
Yeah, the name of the game here for Vindictor is just slowing down No Mercy. No Mercy's army's bigger, but if Vindictor can keep him sieging in the middle of the map, stop him from getting a position on the natural, he should be absolutely fine here.
And so far, he's done a great job at buying that time, as you mentioned. Still gathering up more energy on that Raven. We do have a third CC already finishing up here for Migs. Likewise, I can say the same for No Mercy. Still just working on that orbital as well, working on that next step. And No Mercy still just trying to find a way across the map, even including a couple of Vikings as well. But Migs actually has a Viking lead with 2 more popping out.
Yep. So he should be fine against this Liberator push, which is definitely going to be helping him out. I'm not sure if he knows about this push coming in here. So yeah, the Liberator's going to get the siege. Good reactions coming out from Vindictor, but this position is starting to get a little bit scary. The Liberator goes down. That's a huge advantage for Vindictor here. And this is definitely a big overextension by No Mercy.
Yeah, exactly. Very limited anti-air here. The Vikings go down. The Liberator as well. He has to back off. And Migs with the air control, he's going for a counterattack.
Yeah, this air control is absolutely brutal. We can see Vindictor already producing some Liberators, and behind this, No Mercy, he's actually transitioning into mech, so this is a really vulnerable point for him.
Oh, it really is. The Vikings, they land, they try to catch these tanks. It looks like 1, 2 tanks going to be going down as well. That was a bit of an expensive trade. A lot of Vikings did go down, but that may just be worth it because Migs, he's not stopping.
Yeah, I think Vindictor's smelling blood here. That was definitely a bit of a brave trade here, but yeah, he is sieging right on top of these tanks. Not even going to siege at all, just going to try to shoot through these units. It looks like he wasn't aware that it's actually going to be mech here, and this was not a great trade, but I think it's good enough.
Yeah, not the best trade here from Migs. He's going to be able to get on top of 1 more tank and just barely get within range of the 3rd CC. Out of range of the other tank. Still has 1 Viking in the air. The boys are going to be pulled, though.
Yeah, really nice split of the units there. Vikings going to land. The Vikings chew through SCVs so quickly here, but the mine, that is quite cute. Oh, that's unfortunate. He got so close to killing those tanks, and that's got to hurt.
Yeah, they're so low. I mean, we should be able to land the Vikings, and there we go. The tanks are going to eventually be cleaned up. That was 9 dead SCVs, and 1 tank still stands.
Yeah, 1 Viking there for 2 tanks. Fantastic trade there. Wouldn't have been such a bad thing to see a mule coming out there from Migs, but he is going to be pushed back. That wasn't the most effective push. I think he got a little bit excited there, and now he's going to have to play out the game against Mac.
Yeah, exactly. You know, landing all those Vikings, diving on the army. Like, I don't blame Migs, but as you mentioned, clearly wasn't really aware of what he was moving into, what he was up against, and now No Mercy he holds, and now the game is going to be slowing down here. Migs forced to take a 4th base on location, still has like an economic lead, but it's going to be difficult to kind of break the entrenched meching player here in No Mercy.
Yeah, but Vindicta, he's not a player that minds going to the late game. He's very comfortable playing things out, and you can see that already. He's got his sensor towers set up. He's actually put up some turrets to defend from libs, so he's got these turrets all in the corner behind his mineral lines so that he doesn't get backstabbed by liberators, and that's because he's not going to be making any Vikings. He's just going pure medevac, and he's going to be just going nuts with the drops.
Yeah, and I'm all for it here as he's going for a Doom drop towards the natural. The turrets, they're not done, by the way. A couple seconds too late, and we do get into the natural base. So do see No Mercy is going to be reacting, is going to be responding, but SCVs are going down.
Yeah, really good timing there. Vindicta does have to pull back here, but he takes out all those turrets that were being built, and he's actually going to be able to take out a few of these units as well. So this is a pretty effective drop. Unfortunately, the Vikings are going to be landing now, cleaning that up, but with 11 SCVs going down, this is quite nice for Vindicta. If he can just keep this momentum going and keep punishing No Mercy here, he's going to be in a fantastic spot.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just the SCV kills. A couple more go down. He resets the Viking count. That was what, like 6 Vikings going down. Ay, ay, ay. So a brutal trade here from No Mercy. He will clean this up eventually, but damage has been done. And with the death of all those Vikings, that means that Biggs, he can keep pushing.
Yeah, 16 SCVs, 6 Vikings, a handful of tanks as well. That's exactly what you want. And this kind of drop style, if you can get this going before the turrets get up, that's ideal here. So that was some perfect timing. And now the third is going to be a little bit exposed. You can start blanket dropping over these tanks.
Yeah, the carpet bomb is real here as we get on top of the tanks. There's 3 of them, but they should all go down. We only have a couple of Vikings. Boys are being pulled, and economic damage is going to be done once again.
Yeah, the entire mineral line is going to go down. That is pretty much game there. Vindicta is not going to be going down. And that is GG.
GG, well played. Migs. Vindicta does take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round.
Oh, I forgot we missed the first game.
Yeah.
I saw it on his stream. He 2x'd him.
Yeah.
He's a dirty boy.
GG, well played. Yeah, again, I forgot to adjust the score as well in game, but of course it was the 1-0 earlier. We did miss out on game 1, but it's okay, it's fine. You know, Asher, he was able to summarize it for us, and yeah, Migs doing well here in the first round.
Yeah, manages to shut down the mech before it can get set up, so that was nicely played.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And it was pretty crisp as well. If it wasn't for that Doom drop into the natural, then we may have been in for a much longer game. Things may have slowed down and would have been stuck together in Oceanborn for quite some time. But regardless, congratulations, Migs advances on. Something to reiterate as well, we didn't really get to talk about the format, but of course, this is the final chance, the final qualifier for all these players to get a plane ticket to IEM Katowice. We have players from Europe, players from the Americas, and players from Korea, all coming from around the world for this final qualifier, and it is single elimination.
Yeah, so this is a big chance for players, especially with the single elimination format. We can see upsets, so this is a good chance for players like Vindicta, like Dolan to get into IEM here.
Oh yeah, exactly. It is their chance, as we can, of course, from here get into the open qualifier leads into the closed qualifier that is going to be tomorrow, and that is where we have some of the invited NA players. I believe Kellezer is invited, Shem, as well as Estrella, and I think Scarlet as well. I believe Scarlet.
Yeah, some of those top players. Kellezer is one that I'm really going to be keeping my eye on. I think he's doing very well lately.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Kellezer was invited.
He's already qualified, right?
Yeah, he qualified through the European qualifier. We were lucky enough to cast him. It went down to the wire.
3-2?
Went to the ace match against Skills. It was very close. It was a very, very close TVP, and Kellezer barely edged it out, barely.
Yeah, he's been doing extremely well and taking out his teammate there, Skillis. That's a pretty impressive best of 5 wins. Skillis is no joke these days.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, exactly. Skills. He is top 3 Protoss in the EU, so very impressive stuff. From our Terran player, from Kellezer as well, especially because he was playing from Brazil. Fun fact: he's currently back in his homeland for the holidays. So yeah, even with
nice.
Ping.
Yeah, cool. Oh, that's hardcore ping. That's like 300.
Yeah. Fun fact, he actually lagged out of one of the games. I think it was on Side Delta. He straight up lagged out. We had to remake.
Fair enough.
God.
No ladder game rules. Didn't just get the win.
Oh my god. So it was
very good.
yeah, really good stuff. But from here, I guess we can take a moment to go over the bracket. The bracket is actually quite large. It's a little bit daunting, but yeah, we can get through it.
It's okay. Just start at the top and work your way down.
Yeah. I'll just 1 inch at a time.
Oh, we got Nightmare there. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Let's go. Do you wanna take it away from the top, Happy? From the top.
All right. So we got Gumiho going up against Graf right now. That's Graf, the cannon rusher from Ukraine.
Yeah.
That would be a very interesting game. I feel like Gumiho probably going to be favored there. Gerald versus Nice, bit of a banger PvP. And meanwhile, we have Nightmare waiting for the winner of Astra and SOS, so another PvP going up there. Holden looks like he might have got the walkover win versus Silky there, so he'll be facing Christiana. And we got Creator coming up against Reaper. Reaper taking down the British Protoss Molten 2-0.
Yeah.
And Vindicta's going to be facing Wayne.
There we go, Wayne. He 2-0's mechanics. I'm hoping he played mech with a name like that. But yeah, Wayne. He was waiting for the winner of this series, and that's going to be Vindicta versus Wayne up next here on the channel. So keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, our other boys playing as well. Dolan, he gets the walkover of the Riddler, and he is already mid-series versus Mana. That could honestly go either way. I don't know if you've seen Dolan recently, but he's had some banger TVP builds.
Yeah, his TVP is whack. He does this, I guess you call it like a kitchen sink mech push. There's like a few tanks, a bunch of blue flame hellbats, some cyclones, some mines, a liberator, a raven, and a couple Vikings or something. He has this really weird like off-time push. It comes in at like 8:30. But yeah, I saw him play against Showtime, and it got pretty scary, even though Showtime had the perfect army for it. Yeah,
exactly. Dolan, he can make some magic happen with his Dolan builds, and I look forward to it. I look forward to the outcome of that. Unfortunately, they already started, and we already have our next series, but I wish the best to Dolan, one of the CranKy Ducklings, as we kind of near the second half of the bracket as well. We have Baby Marine waiting for either Rescue or Lambo in the next round for potentially a TVZ. We have Bunny, of course, returning. Bunny is one of the big names that still has yet to qualify. Fun fact, Bunny, Classic, Gumiho mentioned him earlier, they all stayed up to play in the European qualifiers. And they had deep runs. They made it to the closed qualifier as well, but they barely did not make the cut.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal night. That would have been up very late, but looks a bit like maybe a better bracket here. Actually, Bunny and Ryung are in the same little corner of the bracket, so they're potentially going to be facing in the round 16. I mean, Strange versus Ryung actually is probably a pretty close match.
Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, we've still got Huston, Arog, Fire, Maples, a Laser, Coffee, Papi, TLO and Mixu all in the bracket. DRG as well.
Yeah,
pretty stacked bracket.
Yeah, DRG. It was so smudged. We casted him in the we do have a lobby in game. But yeah, DRG. He actually went to the ace match in the Asia closed qualifiers. He went to the ace match against Björn, and DRG was actually up 2-1. And DRG, there was potential for a 3-1 win there. Like DRG, he was popping off in his EVTs.
Yeah, DRG's still got it, man. Those mutas make magic happen.
They do. At the very bottom, we have DNS versus Future and Classic versus Epic. So a really massive bracket. It's very stacked as well. Again, it's very daunting, but you know what? It's we're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be fulfilling.
Excellent. But we are coming into our game now. It's gonna be Migs versus Wayne. This is the one matchup that I've seen quite a few times. I know Migs actually took down Wayne in the World Team League at some point, but I feel like the last time they met did not go as well as that.
Yeah, exactly. They have gone back and forth over time, but here we go. They're going to be facing off once again, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have the blue Zerga player going for a 15-15 opener. representing Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne.
And up in the top right here, cruising through to that second round against No Mercy in the TVT. This is for Platinum Heroes, Vindicta.
Here we go. And yeah, an interesting opener out of Wayne. He's been a little bit fond of this opener. I think Shin, aka Ragnarok, he loves going for 15-15s in ZVT. I'm still not entirely sure as to like the rationale. Like, I understand that it's a little bit greedy, like you delay your gases and you rely on queen defense, you just drone as much as you can by skipping your lings. But yeah, it's interesting that a couple of Zerg players have like sprinkled this in every now and then.
Yeah, there's a couple of variations of it. You don't have to get your gas late. I mean, most of the players are getting their gas around 22 supply, so it's definitely a little bit later than usual. But I think there's kind of not really too much reason not to do it. I don't think it gives you a big advantage, but it doesn't really give you that much of a disadvantage either, because you're skipping those lings to get to defend the Reaper with the Queen. So as long as you're not coming up against like low ground 2 racks or 3 racks Reapers that often, I think it's completely fine. It's probably better, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. As you mentioned, right, like, if we do have additional Reaper aggression, then things can get really scary and really tense, because you will be forced to make lings, otherwise Reapers can kind of have their way with you. But yeah, I'm not too sure if I've seen much of Migs go for the 2-racks openers, like the Beyond style. I don't know if he's really fond of it or if he's really, like, tried it.
He was before quite a lot, but I think these days, in his TVC, I'm mostly seeing him go for the just double gas openers into 2 factories and playing speed cyclone openings. It's something that we've seen a lot out of pretty much every turn, but I'm personally not that convinced by it. I think you lose a lot of eco, you do have to do a lot of damage, but if you're mixing it up with some factory all-ins every now and then, I think it can be good.
Yeah, like nowadays I actually don't see, at the start of the patch we were seeing a lot more Cyclone play. Nowadays I only really see it either if you're committing to mass mech, like, you know, Gumiho or Ryung or something like that, or we've seen Cure go for Cyclone openers instead of like, or Cyclone like Hellion variation openers to like gain map control, but no big commitments. So yeah, I'm curious if Migs whips it out again, if he does commit to like heavy Cyclone play.
Yeah, it looks like he's not actually going for the double gas. He is going for a 3cc build, so I'm pretty happy to see this. I do think against a player like Wayne, especially because he usually plays Roach Warren, and there we go, it goes down quite early. It would be a little bit risky to go for that kind of build just because you're not likely to get damage. Especially seeing that 15 hatch, knowing it's Wayne, it's very likely to be a Roach player.
Yeah, exactly. As we mentioned before, you know, with the later gas, we're skipping Ling speed, going straight into Roaches. So Wayne, he's one of the Roach boys out there, very dark-esque in that way, and Migs is going to be respecting that. As you mentioned, they have a bit of a history. I'm sure he's fully familiar with his play style, and he is getting into that economic opener. Going for the add-on swap, should be getting to even Banshee play.
Yeah, okay, so it's going to be a straight-up 3cc Banshee. I do think this is a really smart build coming out. Oh, actually, Raven. That's kind of crazy.
That's wild, Bobby. Okay, so I'm a little bit concerned now. Like, Banshees would have been amazing. This position, the Roaches have been revealed, and immediately we cancel the Raven. Thank God.
Yeah, okay. Going for 3 bunkers as well. Yeah, I think he would have just died, to be honest, if he didn't see that. I'm very surprised he was going for the Raven. I feel like a player like Wayne, I mean, 15 hatches is made for him because it transitions so well into Roaches. But yeah, here we go. Banshee on the way. Cyclone's on the way as well. These bunkers, ooh, they're just going to finish up on time, I think. Nice little SEV pull just to make sure that that does happen. Yeah,
we do pull them. We're going to be getting the repairs on these bunkers. Marines, they do get into those bunkers as well. This hold is going to be brutal, though, because SEVs are still getting picked up.
Yeah, that's a really well arranged set of bunkers there. The Roaches, they can't really funnel through that one gap just because the Hellions are going to get amazing shots on them. And yeah, there we go, the Banshee has arrived. So great hold coming out from Vindicta, but I do think it's still going to be a very slight lead for the Zerg player here.
Yeah, I mean, forced an overreaction just because of the late scout, just because the Banshee was delayed as well. But as we did see, we probably would have seen a very different game if Migs hadn't seen the Roaches when he did. So that was a really crucial moment for our Terran player, and now the game will be able to progress.
Yeah, there we go. So the transition's going to be coming out for the Terran player here, getting those extra gases, getting the extra racks as well. So this is just very standard stuff. It's a little bit delayed just because of what was going on there, but at the same time, I mean, the upgrades for Wayne are pretty delayed as well.
Yeah, exactly. It was a pretty committed push from him. Behind it, he's going straight into the lair. What's interesting to me is that even before Roach Speed, by the way, we're going straight for the Infestation Pits. Going into Ling Speed as well, so it looks like Wayne wants to try to transition out of Roaches, otherwise we would have seen Roach Speed already. I'm hoping that isn't like an oversight or a mistake. So yeah, there it is. This +1 melee on the way for Wayne.
Yeah, okay, so probably going to be Ling Bane, Roach Rav, and maybe some Infestors as well. We have seen a lot of players just mixing in 2 Infestors just to help keep safe from pushes, but no, it's actually going to be a very fast hive. That's really interesting.
Yeah, again, remember, like, no Roach Speed. Like, we skipped it entirely, so we're going Ling Bane. We could even try to rush into Ultras. I'm curious if that's going to be the play here for Wayne. He is prioritizing that Rich Vesting Gas Geyser. He will have a lot of gas to work with.
Yeah, I think it's kind of great is completely fine as well, just because the transition and the timing of Vindicta is so delayed by that push.
100% as he is still stuck at home. Meanwhile, Hellions, they do get across the map. Drones are getting roasted. 6 workers do go down. Not too bad here. We're going to get maybe another shot off, maybe one more drone. Oh.
Yeah, great move from Vindicta, just recognizing that Wayne doesn't have Ling speed and doesn't really have Lings and is just relying on the Roaches for defense. This Hellions not going to be doing too much for the rest of the game, so really good move to just sack them for a few drones.
Definitely is. Migs is just getting into his production. Third base is getting saturated as we speak. We only committed to a single Banshee, so we have a little bit of map control here, just denying some of that creep, but I'm still really excited. I still am really curious to see what is gotten with this hive, if we just get Adrenal or if we throw down some tech, because the hive is now done.
Looks like we're going to be starting out with Vipers, and yeah, Ultra Den, as you said, so that's going to be very awkward to deal with. Vindicta just desperately pumping out Marine Tank to get back into this game. He is very delayed with his transition at this point, and he's really going to need to find out about this Ultra Den as fast as possible, because he will not be prepared for it otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he hasn't seen the main base. He hasn't seen how fast the Infestation Pit was, how fast the hive has been. He has no idea what Wayne is doing, and it's important just because it is so unorthodox, right? Like, the tech is thrown down all over the place, and we are just rushing into Ultras. Not a standard thing to do whatsoever, and still makes he's only seen the Roaches and the Lings. He doesn't know what's coming next.
Yeah, he might be able to put it together if he notices that Wayne's gone for melee rather than range, and I know that is something he checks. He scans and sees the hive, so that's very good information as well. I don't know if he's going to be able to adjust just yet, but what we're going to be looking out for is definitely for those next 3 Raxes to be going down so he can start Marauder production.
Yes, for the time being, still just Bio Tank, just Marine Tank is going for a double drop here towards the main. There's a lot of potential with this. There's no Overlords to scout, not yet at least, so Wayne is a little bit busy out on the map, and he's getting ready for his own push. The Vipers, they have arrived. Ultras are in production. Kindness Plating is still a ways off. I imagine Wayne wants to wait, doesn't want to pull the trigger too soon, but here comes that double drop.
Yeah, Drop's going to be pulling back all the units for Wayne here. He doesn't want to take too much damage to this, and yep. Here we go, the Lings running on in, the Ultras are revealed, so that is fantastic here for Vindicta. This drop actually getting so much done in that regard.
Yeah, Liberators immediately are in production. The Ghost Academy is about to finish up. Marauders are on the way for Mig, so a quick transition. At the same time, that one Banshee from earlier does find a couple of drone kills here at the forward base.
Yeah, really nice attention to detail there. It's just going to be whole positioned there over the units, and yeah, Vindicta knows what he needs to do to quickly get together that kind of defense that he scrambled to defend the Roaches earlier in this game.
Exactly, as he's still getting more damage, by the way. Finally, the Banshee is going to be going down. At the same time, a little bit of mispathing here. A couple of Roaches are going to get picked off, and Migs, he's in position, throwing down some bunkers, getting the Sim City ready.
Yeah, those depots are beautiful. I love those depots just sitting there to try to block the Ultras. We see we have gaps where Lings and Roaches can get in, but Ultras can't get through, and the Liberator should be able to plug in the rest of that. So that's, yeah, very clever stuff coming out from Vindicta.
Definitely. Here come the Freedom Zones, the 4th base soon to be taken. As we take a 4th, we're going to be exposing ourselves a little bit more, and something that we haven't mentioned is the creep spread. Because of the map control, because of the advantage that Wayne had earlier, creep is all over the place.
Yeah, really nicely done. Wayne's just going to be running in and out, just stopping this 4th from getting set up here. And that's pretty much all he needs to do at the moment. Vindicta's going to be very turtled up.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I was about to say, where are the Vipers? The Vipers just now rocking up a little bit too late, so we got a couple of tank shots all for free, essentially. But Wayne is looking for another way in. He's going to be rotating around. Does see the Liberator setup. We could try to hit the right-hand side instead. There's only one tank in position, but no, Wayne, he rotates towards the left.
Yeah, he just doesn't want this fourth to get started. He doesn't really have to do too much else, but all these tank shots, they are very good. They are catching the bulk of those Banelings and the Infestors as well. This might be a little bit of an overextension coming out from Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. Taking so many tank shots to the face. Big fungal on the Bio Army. He does catch some of those ghosts as well, but we're running out of steam. We're running out of ultras. There's 2 left.
Every ghost does go down. Big kiting coming out on these ultras, and Vindicta does pick up the rest of these units, but considering that he doesn't have a fourth landed, this might be too much damage.
This might just be too much. The boys have to be evacuated. Reinforcements are coming out. With these reinforcements, looks like we should have enough to deal with this. There's 1 ultra left, and it will go down. It will get sniped. Migs will hold, but he lost 13 SCVs.
Yeah, hold position versus Ultra is definitely a dangerous game to be playing, but at the same time, he did get that double drop out across the map. Pretty clever move to go for. I mean, Marines are not going to be that helpful knowing that there's Ultras, so he does send those double drop of the spare Marines across the map.
Yeah, exactly. Just now coming back home, he did get a couple of drone kills across that map, as you mentioned, but Lings are coming in to reinforce. The Vipers did survive. They've regathered energy, and there's 7 Ultras in production. And as you mentioned before, the ghost count was reset. So these 7 Ultras, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah, the problem here for Migs is that he wasn't able to land this fourth, so he's not really rich enough to be able to make ghosts. We do see throwing down a bunch of eBays to try to block this up, and it is going to be just a tiny bit too late. I feel like if that was a couple seconds later, it would have been extremely effective, but this is a great fight for Vindicta. There's just not really enough to deal with these Ultras.
Yeah, the Balins, they do get knocked down. Big blinding clouds here as well in the Bio Army. The Ultras, they're breaking on through. The tank line has been reset. Liberators are trying to siege up as well. Good target firing here out of Migs, and can he clean this up? He takes down one of these Ultras, but there's still 3 left. Oh.
Yeah, the Ultras being split in 2 different locations means Vindicta's only able to micro one of these groups. The Bio in the bottom right does get decimated, but he takes out every single Ultra, so that is not bad at all. That's going to keep him in this game. I would say that the 2 players are relatively even at this point, but it is so important that the gases on this fourth get started and mining.
Yeah, exactly. We need to get this up and running as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Wayne, these have been expensive losses, and now he's remaxing with Lings. Only 1 Ultra. There it is. 4 more Ultras in production, but these are a little bit late here, so Migs, he should have a little bit of room to breathe. He should have some time to recover. The Vipers, once again, did survive. They're regathering energy, and Wayne, oh, he's coming back. He wants more.
Yeah, Vindicta, he does see that this is on the way. The Lings, there's so many Lings, and the friendly fire from the tanks is brutal. The Ghost is not going to be able to get the shot that it needs on that Ultra before it goes down, but the Ultra is taken out. This is another effective hold for Vindicta, almost, but these Corruptors are trouble.
Yeah, exactly. The Marine count was reset. The tanks do not shoot up, and we reset the medevac count as a result. We go for the caustic spray on the planetary. Can we protect it? It looks like we should be able to reinforce this around the way. We do get the repair, and the planetary will survive. Migs holds once again.
Yeah, I think that might be the last hold, though. I don't know. I mean, he lost all the medevacs, all the liberators. Looks like actually going to be another angle being set up here. That Ghost is a little bit exposed. It needs to pull back. It is going to go down. That's a real shame. And yeah, GG is called. Just doesn't have the eco to keep up with these attacks by Wayne.
GG, well played. Migs, he was keeping up blow for quite some time there, was holding on, but eventually he was broken. As you mentioned, just was stuck on 3 bases for too long. Took too long to get a 4th up and running, and he just could not keep up with Wayne.
Yeah, Vindicta was just very, very slightly behind from that opening, and never really was able to get back on top just because Wayne played that out pretty perfectly. I feel like the greedy tech straight to Ultras is something that he could get away with because of the slight lead that he had. So that was just a really good reading of the game.
100%. 100%. It's something that he was able to get away with, and Migs wasn't quite able to punish it. If you remember, it took a long time for him to recognize what was happening as well. I mean, it was a really good, like, kind of last-minute reaction against it, and Migs was able to survive for quite some time, but was never able to really get momentum and really get any damage across the map and force back his opponent. Wayne had full control of that map, had full control of that game almost.
Yeah. Yeah, Ultra Corruptor is something that we've been seeing more and more against Terran. Zerg players finally getting on top of the fact that, yeah, the Ultras, they're pretty good now.
They can be, definitely. And I want to believe here that that Migs can fight back in this series. I want to believe that we can sink our teeth into a game 3, into an ace match, but the pressure is on Vindicta here. Our next map, though, going to be on Oceanborn.
Yeah, just waiting for Wayne to come on in now, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing more of the same. I mean, Wayne's always been one to go for those roach openings, and worked pretty well in the first game. Why not go for it again? I think we're going to be seeing something more aggressive coming out from Vindicta.
Yeah, I hope we don't see the attempted Raven opener. I don't know what's happening there. So my eyes are going to be on Migs as well. I do think that Oceanborn is a slightly better map for something like Roaches compared to Solaris. The rush distance by ground is a bit shorter, I believe, so you can be a little more assertive and aggressive. So as you mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if Wayne does go for a similar style.
Yeah, also means for the Terran that more aggressive styles are going to be more effective. So Vindicta, just knowing what kind of player he is, I think there's a good chance that he goes for a 2cc opening on this map. Whether that's something defensive like a 2cc Banshee or something a bit more aggressive like the Cyclone openers. Both of those are going to be really good against Roach openers.
Oh yeah, and we'll see which one is chosen here. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have representing the Platinum Heroes, the American Terran. It is Vindicta.
And spawning here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map for Starlight Twinkle, this is Wayne.
Once again, going for the 15-15 opener.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's become quite fond of it, and as we mentioned before, this can lead, it doesn't have to lead into Roaches, but it can kind of seamlessly lead into that as we do kind of delay our gases and skip link speed. That's something very viable, and I'm sure it's also in the back of Vindicta's mind, like the Roach play.
Yeah, it's going to be another safe opening coming out from Vindicta. Not going to be going for a CC first or anything, just because it's probably a bit risky against someone like Wayne, but yeah, I also feel like something that's been kind of interesting is ever since Vindicta has retired, I feel like he has been playing with a bit more comfort, I want to say. So just going a lot more to his comfort builds. I feel like previously when he played tournaments, he would want to try out the new meta builds just to kind of be keeping on top of things, and sometimes he would play a build that he hadn't practiced as much just because he wanted to be, you know, staying relevant with the meta, playing, you know, proper tournament strategy. But I do feel like playing to his strengths and playing builds that he's more comfortable with is something that is going to work out a lot better for him.
Yeah, it's definitely something that can do so well for you just because you're more comfortable, you know, you're more well practiced, and you can excel even with something that's quote unquote a little bit off meta or a little bit considered subpar. You can still achieve so much. I mean, look at Gumiho. Like he's like the apex of that, right? Where you just do your own thing, Papi, and hey, you can get second place in DreamHack Young Shipping. So, you know, you do you.
Yeah, I feel like mixed strengths lie in late game and lie in defensive play. So I think, yeah, not playing, you know, the top meta aggressive builds, but playing more to a bit of a later game is something that's going to work out quite well for him, even against someone as strong as Wayne. I actually think Migs can 100% hang with Wayne in a later game. Oh
yeah, 100%. I mean, we've even seen Migs go toe-to-toe with some of these other Korean Zerg players in the late game as well. So I want to believe that he can do the same. Behind this, though, is just getting into the rest of his opener as well. It is going to be a 3cc opener here from Migs.
Yeah, it's defensive. Again, we're probably going to be seeing a very similar game.
Up! Oh, as
yeah, a little bit unfortunate. The Reaper goes down, but he sees everything he needs to see. He sees that gas has been mined, and he sees that there's no link speed. So he's just double checking right now that he's not getting cheesed because there's no third that's gone down yet. But he should know that this is probably just going to be defensive Roach play.
Oh, yeah, interesting. Okay, so there's quite a lot going on here. As you mentioned, there is no third, which is like ringing alarm bells, and Migs does check after the scan does complete, after the Reaper goes down. We start up the layer immediately. Second gas is being taken. This should still be Roaches, but the longer this goes on without a Roach Warren, link speed is started. Are you feeling Mutaplay?
Actually, I think this might be a Lingnitus, but I'm not really sure yet.
Oh.
Bayoness goes down. Vindicta is reacting as if this is 100% going to be a roach attack. He got a very early tank, which you just never really do unless you're trying to blind counter like a 5 or 9 roach push. He gets a bunker at the front as well. So yeah, Vindicta 100% thought this is going to be a roach push. He's looking to blind counter it, and very good read by Wayne to not go for that. But yeah, Vindicta sees the finishing layer. That's going to be confusing. I'll just say that.
Exactly, and there it is. The Spire is thrown down. Wayne did take 2 gases here at his natural as well. If he hadn't taken the gases, I would have 100% agreed with the Link Queen Nidus all in. And Migs, as you mentioned, did see the researching spawning pool. So yeah, Wayne just trying to take some different turns, some different twists. Migs, I'm sure, a little bit confused as well, but he might be able to piece together that this could be a Muta play.
Yeah, Migs is going to be fine against Mutas. He's skipped his starport to go for an early 3 Raxes, and he's getting a faster stim as well, so he should have the Marine count that he needs to deal with this. I think he'll be absolutely fine, but it does mean that he's going to be in a bit of an awkward position, just kind of penned back into his bases. And yeah, we do have this SCV just dipping in. He wants to see how many drones are at the third here. He sees some drones, so he knows that he's probably not getting like Ling Roach all in or anything like that.
Yeah, he's just basically gathering information this entire time with all the scans, with all the scouting. It's been really good stuff here, as we're just going to be taking additional gases as well. So Wayne going to be doubling down here on Muta production. No Evo chambers either. We're skipping 1-1 for the time being. Hyperfixated here on Mutas, and we'll see if he can keep up. Again, Migs still doesn't have confirmation, but he does have Marines in position. There we go. We have turrets on the way. He knows.
Yeah, he puts it together here. Makes a lot of sense. We're seeing, wow, a lot of scans, a lot of resources being expended by Migs. It is actually going to be fine that he's doing that in this situation, just because he's gone 3 CC. He recognizes that Wayne's third is extremely delayed, so he can get away with losing a little bit extra here. But it does worry me. Once these few mutas come out and Wayne has Migs pressed back into his bases, he's going to be able to drone up to 80, 90 pretty freely.
Yeah, he will have map control. He's going to be able to drone up so freely there. 4th base is on the way. Mutas are moving out towards the would-be 3rd base. Turret is in production. There are plenty of Marines spread throughout the bases as well. Stim is done, but we'll see if Migs can keep up. We have gone up to how many? 7 Mutas so far. Only 7, as we are now getting into our Evo chambers, now working on those 1-1 upgrades.
Yeah, with Stim and Medivacs, he should be completely fine. We do see a little bit of Lingbane coming out. That should be just generally for safety here, but yeah, it's going to be annoying here. Throws down that corruption on the eBay, but he gets armor, unfortunately.
Oh, unfortunately, also losing one of those mutas to the Marines as well, so good pick off out of Migs. At the same time, going to be sending out a couple of Marines. He does get eyes on the 4th, on the building 4th, so Migs, he's aware of at least the base saturation. And yeah, Wayne, he only invested enough mutas for map control. From here, he's hyperfixated on Lingbane and on Tourney.
Yeah, so there we go. Wayne already up to 80 drones. He should be in a pretty comfortable spot here. He's getting to creep unabated as well, even though he does have a few less queens than you normally would in this situation. He's managed to cover a good amount of these bases.
Oh yeah, exactly. Connecting all the bases. Mutas, they rotate around towards the left-hand side. They do catch a couple of SCVs here, delaying some of these Raxes as well. But Migs is just transitioning into Biomine, which will do wonders here against the Lingbane Muta of his opponent. Has to be covered with those Medivacs though. Oh.
Yeah, this could be the kind of game that Vindicta's pretty comfortable in. He basically has to play for either a late game or a big 3-3 push here, so he will be totaling up, just trying to keep safe and using little bits of harass here and there.
Oh, exactly, and for now he's just kind of pinned back because of those mutas. Eventually we should be able to break free and get into some drop play. Wayne did reinvest into his mutas. He's up to 16 now, so he has a pretty hefty amount that has to be respected. Hasn't found any major damage yet, but there is potential.
Yeah, that bunker from Vindicta's great. Really good scan as well. He really wants to see the hive timing, wants to see when that transition's coming out. Once he does see that transition, that's going to be his sign to push. And yeah, there we go. He is starting to gather up his biomine at the front here.
Yeah, he's getting ready for his eventual move out. Still just trying to catch some of these mutas as they do pivot between those bases. As you were mentioning, with the hive finishing up, we could try and get ready for spellcasters and maybe even ultras later on down the line. But for now, Wayne, he's just remaxing on Lingbane, and he has quite an army already.
Yeah, it looks like Vindicta's working towards a 2-2 push here. He's got a few Thors coming out, so if he can time his 2-2 to finish up when he has about 3 Thors, it's going to be a great time for him to move out.
Oh, exactly, and he still has to wait a little bit longer for that, so he's still going to be pinned back at home, and while he's pinned back at home, Wayne, he's just spreading creep, knocking down all these rocks as well, just taking control of Oceanborn, and once that hive finishes, we can, of course, start taking up a little bit further. Mutas making their way in between the bases. They still haven't dealt any major damage yet, but we are committing into the main.
Yeah, we're getting into the kind of meter count where turrets don't really matter, and yeah, just like that turret goes down. Vindicta's going to have to start doing some cute little moves that we see players like Clem doing quite often, like ferrying around that Thor with metabacks, and he looks like he is already pre-split pretty well between the bases. He's keeping on top of this attack by Wayne as well, but yeah, once again, Wayne going to be going for the same strategy as that last game, just stopping the fourth from getting put down, and just wave after wave will be crashing in at this point.
Exactly, just deny the fourth. That's the win condition here for Wayne. The Mutas, they do deal some damage. 7 SCVs went down. We got another contamination on +2, which does delay it even further, as the Mutas are going to be able to pick off so many of these Widow Mines as well, just clearing the path for the Ling Bane.
So it's a little bit exposed, but oh yeah, these Banelings, they need to be avoiding the mines. Fantastic trades for Vindicta, and this is going to line up perfectly with his 2-2 push. I think it will have a really nice push now.
Oh, exactly. Did lose a tank, did lose a couple of Widow Mines, but his Marine count is still looking solid. Fourth base is now getting up and running because Wayne did kind of rotate around, did allow this to occur. Creep is being denied, and Wayne is looking to be, Migs is looking to be a little bit of a better position.
Yeah, I'm really liking this game for Vindicta now. He's in a much better position leading into the Ultra transition. Looks like these units are going to be caught out just a little bit. The Baneling's going to be stopping those reinforcements from coming in, but the Thors are getting massive shots on those Mutas. Vindicta going to be chasing after those, and yeah, I think this is where he can start to transition into that 2-2 push.
Yeah, the Mutas overextending quite a lot, actually. The Thors going to town. Good kiting back as well. The juggling on the Thors, we keep them alive, and we should be able to deal with this. The splits.
Yeah, some really nice micro coming out there. Good damage going down on the Mutas as well. I really liked those libs just zoning out the queens, stopping that creep from getting established. And this is starting to look a little bit scary for Wayne, but the first few ultras are coming out, so he should be completely fine versus any ground push. Yeah,
exactly. We're getting into that ultra corruptor transition. Most of the Mutas did go down. That was 15 dead Mutas in that fight. Again, an expensive loss, and quite a lot of gas down the drain there. We still also don't have our ideal upgrades. Kindness plating is going to finish up. 3-3 just now starting here for our Zerg player. The Ultras, they are soon to arrive, but there are only going to be 4 of them.
Yeah, 3-3 for Vindicta coming out as well. We can see he's cutting a little bit of production just to get some extra CCs started. I do think that's a really good idea. That's something that we see. Mario used to do this a lot when he's playing against Muta play like this. He would just basically cut any extra Marines, because the Marines are just not that helpful once the Ultras come out, and instead go for a lot of orbitals. So I'd love to see Vindicta going for that kind of play and just turtling it up.
I'd love to as well. Meanwhile, the armies are going to be clashing. We do have some harass coming in from Vindicta. Oh, a bit of friendly fire from that Widowmine, though. It looks like we can maybe catch a Thor, but the juggling once again.
Yeah, the anti-mine micro from Wayne is fantastic, and there's just not that much here to deal with these Ultras. So, unfortunately, Vindicta getting caught out on the map there.
Yeah, exactly. Was caught out. Ghost Academy still on the way here. We are not ready for the Ultra switch, for the Ultra transition. And Wayne, he has some momentum going his way. Migs still just stuck back at home. He did lose a big chunk of his army, and there's no moving out for Migs.
Yeah, we've got Muta Corruptor here as well, just to deal with any Liberators, and I think Vindicta might just be dead. I think he just got caught in transition here.
Yeah, exactly. Was caught with his pants down a little bit. Big mind shot's going to be going up on a lot of these Lings, but as you mentioned before, how can we deal with these Ultras?
Yeah, Baneling's here as well now. Vindicta's army split between his bases, and yeah, that's just going to be it.
Exactly. We bust into the natural. We're in the main base as well. Camping the production. Migs did very well keeping up with Wayne for so long, but GG gets called, and Wayne will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round.
GG is called, and unfortunately, that is going to be the end of Vindicta's run.
It will be the end of Miguelito here, but he did well for himself, you know, taking down No Mercy earlier and even going toe-to-toe with Wayne as well. Unfortunately, wasn't quite able to keep up. Yeah, Wayne just having full map control, joining up to 80, as you mentioned before, right, having a solid economy behind it, and yeah, was able to get into those Ultras just before Migs really had an answer for them.
Yeah, that was very well played by Wayne. He was in control from start to finish, and Vindicta never really got to get himself off the ground. I really liked his plan of just sending out little bits of harass there, trying to clear up the creep and get himself set up to start taking a fifth and getting those extra orbitals. But yeah, getting caught on creep when he was doing that transition was kind of the beginning of the end.
Oh yeah, it was, and it ended very quickly. Like things escalated very quickly out of control, and that's StarCraft sometimes, especially ZVT. Like it's a very fast matchup, like very little room for error, very unforgiving, and my heart goes out to Vindicta. I wish him the best, especially if he keeps streaming and if he keeps laddering. I do wish him the best. Check him out over on his own Twitch channel. He is streaming his POV at the moment.
Yeah, Vindicta_SC2. But yeah, exactly. Against a player of the caliber of Wayne, you can see this with all the top EU Zergs. They're just a little bit too clean with their transitions, too clean with their follow-up pushes. Everything's coming in, push after push after push. And if you slip at any one particular point, it's going to be pretty hard to catch back up.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's how brutal these qualifiers are. That's how brutal they can be. As we are getting ready here for our next matchup, !B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket. Just to quickly let you know though, up next, Wayne, he's going to be advancing on. He has his next opponent. It is going to be Creator.
Yeah, that's a huge PVZ. So only in the round of 16 at this point, and we're already seeing the big guns come out. Having a look through the rest of the bracket a little bit as well. Not too much to report back on in terms of new results, but one that we didn't mention earlier, we do have Future coming up against Classic down at the bottom of the bracket there. That's going to be a pretty interesting match as well. Future's been playing fantastic StarCraft lately.
Oh yeah, and he's another one of those like really unique players as well, where he just comes up with his own builds and his own play styles. And yeah, Future, he can pop off. He can really sneak up on you as well. So that could go either way. Also, a really strong showing. Future 2-0 DNS. And DNS is no slouch. Like, he's a very solid player in his own right. So a very big result for Future.
Yeah, DNS has been having a great year, but so has Future, and I guess he just got the better of DNS this time around. And yeah, we've been seeing Future take out players like, I believe he took down Ragnarok. He has this really interesting style where he plays these kind of 2.5 base semi all-ins. It can catch you very off guard because it doesn't look like all-in play. It's a little bit more economic than that, but he has these really refined, crisp timings that hit a lot harder than standard player.
Oh yeah, exactly. And if you don't see it coming, if you're not familiar with Future's playstyle, that can completely catch you off guard. So yeah, on paper I do want to favor Classic, but Future, he can cause an upset, so that's not like cut and dry. Yeah,
totally. But I presume we're going to be following Wayne then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So having a look at that part of the bracket as well, Mana was able to take down Dolan 2-1. So it looks like they had a bit of a close best of 3. Mana's going to be waiting for the winner of Baby Marine and Lambo. Lambo definitely favored there, but Baby Marine has shown that he's one of the up-and-coming Terrans, and he can still win that matchup.
Oh yeah, exactly. Baby Marine, he was able to survive not being cancelled during Home Story Cup. I
never actually saw what he said.
I didn't see it either.
I presume you can't repeat it.
I don't know what he said. I just saw the post.
Okay.
Oh my god, he was getting rowdy on the casting desk. Yeah, Baby Marine versus Lambo is going to be a lot of good fun into Mana, as you were saying. And that's going to be leading into the winner of our series, right? Wayne and Creator. So some heavy hitters are going to be facing off here. Europe versus Korea. A big shout out to Dolan, though, to force the ace match against Mana. I'm sure it wasn't easy. So, yeah, really well done by Dolan.
Yeah, definitely. That's got to be a pretty close best of 3 to be 2-1 there. And even taking a map off Mana, that's not the easiest thing to do.
Definitely. And it looks like we have some updates in game, actually. I don't know the results of Baby Marine versus Lambo, but it looks like Mana versus Lambo is about to begin.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, must have been able to take out Baby Marine. But hopefully 2-1.
Hopefully.
Hope that it was close games.
Exactly. Also, as a reminder, which we haven't mentioned yet, but the quarterfinals matches, those are best of fives. Those are the qualifying matches. Its top 4 do make it into the closed qualifiers tomorrow. So yeah, we're kind of nearing closer to that, right? It's this series is leading into a qualifying match.
Let me think about this.
Okay.
Okay, so quarterfinals is round of 8, and
Yes.
those are the qualifying matches.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning.
I think I got it.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh god. So yeah, that is on the horizon there. So yeah, that means we can like start speculating a little bit here. That means that's, I mean, Bunny's still waiting for his next opponents, but Bunny, Strange, Ryung, Hearthstone, Laser, they're all going to be fighting for that one qualifying spot as well.
Yep. Looking at some of the other results, Coffee's already taken out Puppy 2-0. TLO took down Mixu 2-1. Bit of an upset there.
Yeah. Fun fact, that's actually a rematch and a very similar result to not quite TLO versus Mixu, but a couple of weeks ago we casted TLO versus Fiant. We had something very similar occur there, which was surprising to see TLO take it to like kids that are like half his age. They or even more. It's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah, TLO just going around upsetting everyone. But apart from that, we do have Bunny versus Ryung going to be playing for their spot into the qualifying match, and Hearthstone and Laser are going to be fighting to take down the winner of that one.
Ooh, exactly. Hearthstone and Laser facing off. I don't know if you heard, Asher, but this is the year of Hearthstone. So, Laser
again.
Again, Poppy, again. So Laser, he has his work cut out for him. Wish him the best of luck. Meanwhile, if you're in the chat, you can hear the beeps. Creator versus Wayne is the Vitas are done. Lobby is ready.
That's reminding me, I've really got to watch Clem vs Hearthstone from Home Story Cup. I heard that was a very good series.
Yeah, I missed it as well, but apparently Hearthstone was popping off and he did really well in the group stage. Like, I think he got like second, or he made it out of the group, a group that he was not meant to make it out of.
Yeah, I mean, Home Story Cup, the whole setup's pretty brutal. It's pretty hard to get out of those groups.
It really is, but here we go. We're in our next series, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have our Blue Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne.
In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, this is the red Protoss from South Korea. This is a Creator.
Here we go, and yeah, this is going to be another interesting one. Again, it is also brutal as well. Creator, like many of the other Korean players in the bracket at the moment, didn't just play in the Asia server qualifiers, but also competed in the European server qualifiers. And now this is their last chance, the third and final qualifier here in the Americas.
Last chance there. Kind of interesting. Wayne goes for 15 hatch versus Terran, but not versus Protoss. So he doesn't stop the hatch block from going down.
Look, it's just hashtag the Zerg things, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Yeah, really interesting, right? Like, this does mean maybe he does value link speed a lot more, which I guess would make sense in this matchup, just to be active. Wayne, he's quite an aggressive player against Protoss players, so yeah, interesting decision here.
Yeah, do you think it's possible he's just respecting Creator's adept control and doesn't want to have to deal with the first and second harassing adepts without having link speed?
Yeah, definitely. So I imagine that's the rationale behind that, as he is forced to take the natural, the forward base here. It does also mean that he can launch his creep a little bit faster across the map, and that could lead into another roach-based timing later on. And it's not saying that Wayne will all in, but, you know, he's not afraid to in any matchup.
Yeah, 100%. Meanwhile, from the Protoss side, just because the bases are split here, that does make Glaive's attacks a little bit more enticing. But we have seen a lot. Creator does like to mix it up. He likes to go for a lot of different kind of strange off-meta builds. He plays Robo quite a lot,
Yeah.
which is always odd.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a Stargate to start off with.
I as soon as you started like talking about how he plays, I could see the game on Ancient Sister. I could I could see
yeah,
Creator.
a lot of failed Immortal Sentry pushes. That does happen. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that that's a memory that's like burned into our skulls. But Creator, you know,
I've seen him do it a few times actually.
Yeah.
It's like his go-to when he's ahead.
Yeah. It's get ahead into Smoge. But yeah, outside of that though, he's going for a Stargate opener. Everything's looking very standard here from Creator for the time being. And when it comes to his playstyle, he also has a unique playstyle in this matchup, especially amongst the Koreans as well. We have seen him play very turtly and very safe, you know, outside of those weird all-wins. Like, we have seen him kind of take a slower approach instead. So yeah, we'll see if that's going to be the case after this Stargate opener.
Yeah, I do think the PvZ meta in general has shifted a little bit more towards 3-base plays. They're setting up on 6 gas on 3 bases, going into that double robo sometimes even before the 4th base, and just being very defensive on either like a Colossus army or just anything like that. Just a big ball of high-tech units.
Oh yeah, Creator, he embraces that style. Classic and Hero a little bit less so. Again, they like being active and aggressive. Creator, though, he's all about just building up that death ball as he's moving out with his first couple of units. It's going to be 2 Adepts on the right-hand side, alongside an Oracle, second Oracle behind this. We should be expanding and taking a 3rd, but Wayne, he was in position. He does get a kill on that probe, so he does delay the 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd going to be really slightly delayed, but at the same time, the Stasis Trap does get spotted out by Wayne. Wayne's keeping up quite well with the Korean Protoss here.
Yeah, so far, maintaining his losses, but 2 Adepts, they shade into the main base for 5 workers. 6 workers going to be going down. This is getting a bit out of hand.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Wayne didn't pull those drones away to the left there, just because the Adepts were kind of penned into the corner there, so he might have been able to save a few of those, but he didn't want to lose some mining time.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose the
It's a bit
mining.
of a misjudgment, though.
Yeah, exactly. 7 workers going down, punishing him for that. At the same time, Lings go for a big counterattack, but the Oracles are in position. They're going to be able to clean this up. Also, Wayne decides to go for an earlier Roach Warren. This was around a 4-minute Roach Warren timing, much earlier than normal, especially against a Stargate opener. So I'm curious if he intends to be aggressive here, as, yeah, Roaches are already in production.
Yeah, possibly just seeing the one Oracle as well. He might have been worried about Stargate into Glaze, which is something that Creator definitely has done before.
Yeah, so potentially safe play as we have a wave of Lings and Roaches on the way here. Wayne going to be losing a couple more workers, and it looks like Wayne is cutting workers. 36 drones is all he has. Wayne is going for an all-in. The Queens are waddling across the map.
Yeah, this might just be a reaction to the amount of damage he's taken here. I didn't realize he'd taken that much damage. That's really rough.
Yeah, that's 8 workers going down. He is droning behind this, so we're getting some mixed signals here. The move out has been spotted, but it looks like Wayne is going to try to transition out of this potentially as he's getting caught up, but he does get a kill on the Oracle.
Yeah, I think that might be all the drones we see. He probably just didn't really have enough to keep this going. And Creator could be in trouble here. We're seeing a lot of cannons and batteries coming down, but I'm not sure if this is going to be in time. I mean, we have 3 Stalkers.
Yeah, 3 Stalkers to defend, 3 Oracles. We have a 4th Oracle on the way. Big Stasis Trap does catch a lot of those things, but the Biles, they can focus on the shield batteries.
Yeah, beautiful Stasis Trap. These Stalkers are going to want to start to focus down the Ravagers if they can. Shield Battery Overcharge has been committed, but the Ravagers are right on top of this. They'll be able to bile that down.
Yeah, the Shield Battery does fall, but the Queens fall as well. The Oracles, they can go to town, and they do focus down the Ravagers for them to escape, but they're barely alive.
Yeah, Queens go down, Ravagers go down as well, and this is a hold for Creator.
Yeah, Creator, his economy is going to be maintained. Good piles here on the Stalker, though. The Lings are going to be able to break on through. They're getting damage done. The Oracles are running out of energy, but Wayne is backing off, and Wayne is droning.
Yeah, Creator's defense is here so solid. Blink is finishing up now as well. That'll help so much just because those Stalkers can't really get stuck anymore, and Wayne is very far behind now.
Yeah, exactly. He committed so much, and he didn't deal any economic damage. He forced a reaction, sure, but not quite enough damage here dealt to Creator as he's trying to get his 3rd base operational. He's behind in workers, he's even on bases, and he's behind in tech. The lair still just finishing.
Yeah, and with this Creator, I saw him make a sentry. I'm getting worried.
You're like...
We could be seeing a big committed push coming out from him, but I do think in this case it should be successful.
Yeah.
We see that robo coming down. I wouldn't be too surprised if a second robo and a robo bay comes down behind that. +1 is on the way, and we have a decent little pressure coming out as well.
Yeah, you're like, oh, is it time to go for the classic creator?
Time to throw.
Is it time to all into Smoge, Papi? No, as you said though, like I do think that this push has a lot more successful capabilities here, and Blink has done good control here out of creator. He should be able to deny this base and snowball out of control from here. Oracle, sorry, the Prism is on the way, and we should be able to break this down. That's going to be a cancel in the 4th.
Yeah, 4th is going to be denied there. And the Prism's really nice as well. That does mean that he can continue to use his Force on the side to keep trying to deny that 4th while going for a big warp in of Zealots, perhaps, in the main. At the same time, we do see second Robo, and Robo Bay does come down before that 4th, as we were talking about. And that means that we'll be able to go for a big 3 or 4 Colossus timing after this.
Yeah, exactly. If there is an after this, right? Because creator, he's pushing out. That's a lot of Stalkers. We have the World Prison to reinforce as well. But as you mentioned, you know, at least we're thinking about that next step. You know, we're not all in. We are working on what comes afterwards in case Wayne does hold on, as we're looking to deny the 4th base once again. Wayne trying to come in from behind for a surround, but the numbers just aren't there.
Yeah, Wayne just does not have units. I think this is just going to be GG right here, right now, as that next warp in comes in. A big warp in of 8 Stalkers, and Wayne just cannot keep up economically.
Yeah, exactly. The 4th base goes down for a second time. Wayne forced to retreat towards his 3rd base. Creep is being cleared up. We do have some Ravagers and some Roaches to try to hold the line. Additional Roaches are in production. But the force fields are looking so damn good, and we're just bleeding out too much.
Yeah, fantastic force fields, yeah. Using the Ravagers morphing in as force fields as well. And yeah, it's very reminiscent of Wayne's games against Vindicta, just not allowing a force to go down, keeping wave after wave of pressure going in while the economy falls behind.
Yeah, exactly. And there are those Colossi in production, +2 starts up for creator, as well as he's going to be able to blink and trade well against these Roaches. Against Stalkers like this is not what you want to be seeing. You want some kind of buffer zone in between them. You need some lings. You need some more supply in general. We do have an Infestor on the way that can help, but it's still in production, and the creator, he's still trading well and gaining ground.
Yeah, extremely accurate blink micro coming out from creator here, and he's just going to be here for probably the rest of the game, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, he can of course just stick around here and just keep on trading with the Roaches. It's still just a good moment for creator. Disruptors on the way as well from creator, so looking to spice things up with some of those Purification Novas. As we do hold position micro, we push our ways up the ramp as well, and Wayne, he's running out of units, he's running out of supply.
Oh, the Roach Warren goes down. That's got to be it right there.
Yeah, that means only leagues. We throw down an Ultra. Okay, sorry, for a moment I thought that was an Ultra cannon. Another Roach Warren's on the way. The Ultras are on the mind. Good fungal here on the Stalkers. But for the time being, we can only make links to reinforce.
Yeah, good trade coming down with that, but good trade is not really going to be good enough, because you are trading here 3 base versus 3 base with the Protoss, which is not where you want to be. GG is called as those next few units come on in, and creator with a very clean hold of the all-in cruises to victory.
GG, well played. Again, solid game out of creator. Just getting an insane amount of damage done early on with his Adepts and his Oracles. Well, mainly the Adepts were really what kind of popped off there, killing 7 drones on their own, forcing the all-in, and creator just barely able to muster up a defense in time. Things looking a little bit scary initially. Remember, he only had 3 Stalkers, which is why it's impressive that he held as well as he did.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it came down to that stasis trap as well. The stasis trap protecting those Stalkers, forming a bit of a force field, and then just really good timing on the Oracles to take out all of the Queens and then jump on those Ravagers.
Ooh, definitely. We are going to be getting ready for our next game here. Again, we're going to be switching servers. I mean, we're staying on the Americas, but I believe we're going West Central West, if I'm not mistaken. So back and forth here. Yeah, we'll see if Wayne can recover. We'll see if he can fight back in this series.
Yeah, okay. So Central is going to be a fair bit better for the European player here. So I would consider this next game to be Wayne's server advantage. We'll see if there's going to be any difference in the early game because of that. It is possible that the defense against those early Adepts is going to be a bit better.
Yeah, exactly, and I do hope so. I do hope that we can have a more stable early game and get a more back and forth mid game. That's going to be the ideal situation there, as we're going to be loading into game number 2. Again, creator does have that 1-0 lead. one more win here to advance onto a qualifying match.
Yeah, we've got a shorter map here. I haven't seen too many PVZs on this patch, but I would assume on a map like this, it's a lot more likely that we're going to be seeing glaives.
Oh yeah. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the blue Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Down in this series, looking to fight back. It is Wayne.
Spawning here in the top left-hand corner, the Club NV Protoss. South Korean player in the red. This is Creator.
And once again, Wayne trying to go for the hatch first, forsake the unnatural. We only 15-15 against Terran, okay? That's the rule here for Wayne. That's how we do.
I feel like having to take the third on this map in particular is probably not too bad though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst third to take. It's not. It's pretty well defendable as well here from Wayne. As we do load into Oceanborn, but I am still a little bit concerned when it comes to the aggression potential of Creator. You mentioned before that he's not afraid to open up glaives. He's not afraid to be a little bit more assertive here in this matchup.
Yeah, I feel like this is a very good situation with glaives. We've got a short map and we have the bases split now. So that's generally going to be what you're looking for. If this is max packs, I would say 100% we're going to be seeing 4-gate glaives. But yeah, Creator kind of, all the Koreans, they beat to the sound of their own drum. Sometimes they'll go for builds that aren't actually the best for the situation on the map just because it's not expected. A lot of the Korean players value mind games like that really highly.
They do, and I mean, for good reason. You know, it works. It works. It's you can win that mental game here against your opponents. So, yeah, we'll see if that's going to be the case. For now, though, we have some pretty standard openers here between them, outside of the unnatural natural for Wayne. Nothing too out of the norm yet.
Nice. Have you vetoed Radisat Station yet?
Of course. What do you mean? What do you?
Okay.
I think it was like day one that I didn't. I think I lasted 2 days without vetoing anything, and then I couldn't last any longer. I couldn't make it.
I feel like every Zerg probably vetoed that after seeing Raynor beat Cyril with his Protoss.
Smurge, Baffy, Smurge. As we get into that, Creator, that is not a Stargate opener. That is not a Twilight Council. He's going Robo first.
Yeah, so this is something that I mentioned before in that first game that Creator does like to do that's a little bit different, is go for robo-based play. I would say this is usually going to be a disruptor drop.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. This is usually, if this was any player, I would say disruptor drop, but you can go into other deviations, right? If we throw down 2 more gateways, it could be like a warp prism for some ground harass. We could be seeing like an immortal all-in, but as you mentioned, this should lead into a bay and into a prism and warp prism speed and disruptors. Should at least. Yeah,
there we go. This is always a pretty interesting opening. I feel like it's very safe against most things, but it's also a little bit less economic, and obviously it's going to be delaying that blink transition as well.
Yeah, it does delay the blink, which means that if your opponent is on top of things, it means your third base could be heavily delayed as well. So Creator, he has to be careful here when it comes to expanding and how he does transition out of this. Meanwhile, it's on Wayne to try to figure out what's going on. He's still trying to piece it all together here. Has a couple of Lings in position back at home. He's just droning, saturating his bases. Hasn't seen any major tells yet.
Yeah, Wayne is going to be setting up to try to slow down that third from being taken, but behind this we do see Creator already going for his extra gases, so he is going to be staying on 2 bases for a little bit longer.
Yeah, 2 base play is upon us. Do have Prism Speed in production here. The War Prism is done, and we are waiting for our first wave of disruptors. Meanwhile, Wayne going for a very early Roach Warren. He's throwing down Safety Spore Crawler, so again, he still doesn't know what's going on. He's preparing just in case it is a Twilight Council opener. He does see the Adepts and the Prism moving out.
Yeah, good general player, just trying to be safe first. Oracles if it's Oracles, DTs if it's DTs. He is going to be delaying that layer by just a little bit, but the wave of Links should be able to keep him safe from this first pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And Creator, he's basically trying to tell a story. He's trying to sell a story here that it is Glaive Adepts, and really it is anything but.
Yeah, that was really nice. He was showing that first little warp into the Overlord to try to force a wave of roaches or lynx, which unfortunately he didn't get to do. But yeah, it's a really clever opening. So I think the idea here was you sell like a 4-gate glaze opener or something like that. A wave of roaches gets produced, and then you hit with the disruptor drop.
Exactly, and roaches are on the way, but we still have a lot of links as well out from Wayne, so that is going to be a threat to these disruptors. Meanwhile, it's going to be 2 disruptors straight into Colossi production. The first Colossus is on the way.
Yeah.
Once the first Colossus does arrive, then we can take a third.
Maybe. It kind of looks like it's a 2-base all-in.
It could be, as we do have another Nova going off, and it looks like we will connect. We barely do save both disruptors as well, as Creator does back up. But we have a Twilight Council and a Forge on the way, so upgrades are on the horizon here, which means, yeah, we should be looking for a bit of a later timing.
The little wave of Lynx going to be coming on in here. That should be absolutely fine with the Colossus and the Sentry to defend that, as, yeah, Creator's just going to be looking for a little bit more damage with the Disruptor now.
Yeah, you know, he's already done well for himself killing some workers. Now he's going to be looking for even more damage. His third base is getting up and running. The disruptors have arrived here at the natural base, but we do have Lynx in position.
Yeah, Disruptor almost goes down. Looks like that Nova was cancelled at the last second.
Yeah, it was cancelled. The disruptor is going to be saved. Both disruptors are very low, by the way. I don't know if you can see, but they're both deep in the red, so very careful control there out of Creator. Very Chris Micro saving them at least, but he only really got one big Nova. Like, he hasn't gotten amazing trades with this yet, as he is pushing out with his ground army.
Yeah, Creator recognizing there's no roach speed, no banelings or anything like that, and these force fields could be extremely brutal. He's just going to poke out, see if he can deny some creep, maybe deny a fourth as well.
Exactly, hoping to contain his opponent. Meanwhile, the disruptors, they do get caught out by those lings, do get picked up here. Fourth is on the way here towards the south, just confirming that there's no fourth base here at the center location, and we are going into some Dark Templar.
Yeah, really cool going for these Dark Templar, and I really like the way the Creator's playing this as well. Just kind of poking in and out, trying to force units whenever he can. I think this is ooh, good trades there as well. Very important little detail in PvZ is just going for these small move outs just to force units from the Zerg.
Exactly, it means that the Zerg player is down in workers, right? Wayne is still only on 62, still hasn't saturated that fourth base, and that is something that we should bearing in mind, is that we are just massing roaches. We're on just under 3 base saturation for Wayne, and he's not making any more drones, it's just pure roach.
Yeah, Observer's going to see that, and good little attention to detail there from Creator does avoid the bio, but we have an Immortal, we have, I believe, 3 Disruptors, so we should be okay. Beautiful force fields are going to be ensuring those Disruptors land heavy, and Wayne just taking some damage there to the pathfinding, I believe.
Yeah, exactly, as another Nova is going to be going off as well. Looks like we get 1 Ravager, not much else other than that, but Wayne is deflected. Wayne is forced to drone here. He makes another wave of workers. He's backing off, he's teching, throwing down an Evo Chamber, throwing down the Infestation Pit. That is his first Evo Chamber, by the way, so we are quite behind in upgrades.
Yeah, definitely, as we do have the Adepts just scouting out where exactly these roaches are. I think he should be able to piece together now that the fourth is in the bottom left-hand corner here, as we do have Wayne going up into Hive. He still has a good army here, so I think Wayne can try to delay the fourth from being taken if he can get out on the map now.
Yeah, he can definitely threaten that fourth base here. For the time being, he's trying to keep up with all the harass. We have a random Archon being rallied in, which I don't think is intentional here, and Wayne should be able to get an Archon for free. So a nice pick off here, as we do have those Disruptors still sharking around for damage, still looking for some big connections.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Archon was meant to be 2 DTs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know how it got morphed.
Yeah, that would make sense if Dark Templar were headed in this direction. So a little bit unfortunate there for Creator, but regardless, big connection here. At the natural 5 drones go down. Meanwhile, we may be behind in upgrades, but tech, that is something that we have. Hive finishing up, Lunker Den on the way.
Yeah, I think definitely makes sense. Everything from Creator is pointing towards a big ground push, so Lurker should be quite effective here.
Ooh, yeah, as the force fields once again cutting up those roaches, and so many roaches go down.
Yeah, great force fields there from Creator. I like that he has a DT mixed in with his army as well. That can be something that's really hard to notice in the heat of the fight, but it is going to be an Archon anyway, and I think Creator's gearing up for a push now. And if he can put together those lurkers on the way, this would be the perfect time to push before that can happen.
Exactly. Right now, Wayne is vulnerable at the moment. As you were saying, we have +2 and charge finishing up in a couple of seconds. We should be seeing a big reinforcing wave of Zealots, and now we can push across the map. There's only Roach Ravager to defend. The lurkers are not ready yet.
Yeah, good pressure with these Stalkers, just keeping that creep back, trying to take out a few Queens as well. We see some Immortals on the way. Nice little run by coming out from Wayne. That is beautiful. It looks like Creator wasn't quite paying attention to that. It might have been the Archon just on A move that hit that.
Yeah, exactly. And there we go. We have Roaches in the main, Roaches at the natural base. Drones are going down, probes are going down, but Creator, he is unfaltered. He is just pushing across the map, reinforcing. He's sending it.
Yeah, one DT in the main will be able to clean up those roaches as the probes clean up the rest of them with the cannon. But this is pretty solid defense by Wayne. Very nice roach control. Oh, I'm a little bit scared for him going into this, into this little gap here, considering how good the force fields have been.
Oh, exactly. As it looks like the Roaches, there's only 2 of them left, 1 in each base. They have been cleaned up for the most part. Wayne has remaxed, and I believe the Vipers are full of energy. We have 2 lurkers for the time being. Can Wayne hold on? He is maxed.
Yeah, a couple lurkers go down. That is not going to be enough, considering the Archons and the Immortals. I think a Creator might just bulldoze through here.
Yeah, 2 lurkers, nowhere near enough. The tech is exposed as well. The Hydrogen close to going down. Looks like the Roach Ravager is going to be able to force back the army for the time being, but the Disruptors are still alive, the Immortals and the Colossus as well.
Yeah, some slightly clumsy control coming out from Creator here, to be honest, but he is going to be pushing on through. We still have that Colossus, and the Disruptor is going to keep pushing everything back. The Spines have finally been taken out.
Yeah, exactly. Spines are going down. Big abduction on the Disruptor. That was very close, but the other will not connect either. Despite that, we don't need the Disruptors. We have a solid ground army, and Creator is still breaking through.
Yeah, the snipes were good, but the commitment to the snipes gets all the units killed. The Creator is going to be breaking on through. It was a nice little roach run by to the north as well. That does actually stop the force from going up, but those roaches are going to need to come back to help.
Yeah, the longer gen, it's going to be going down. We have some Zealots coming in to reinforce the Prism as well, to juggle these high-tech units, to keep them alive as well. The natural base is going to be going down. There's not enough energy. Wayne is getting ready for a big surround, though.
Yeah, massive surround coming out. We have 2 Immortals in the center, 3 Immortals actually, and some good micro coming out as well with this Prism. DT is going to be morphed in to finish the job. There is no detection for that. GG.
GG gets called, and Creator will take the series 2-0, advancing on to a qualifying match.
GG. Commanding a game coming out from Creator, though.
Exactly, a solid performance there from a Creator, as he does take the series here, and a fancy opener as well, right? We don't really get to see Robo and Disruptor based openers too often, so we don't really get to see it too often, so yeah, really fun to see.
Yeah, well piloted, actually pretty well defended as well, but in the end it was the 3-base Roach push that just didn't quite work out, which I think, now that I'm thinking about it, it's a bit of a weird choice against Disruptor drops, because there's definitely going to be Disruptors, but yeah, either way.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Regardless, GG, well played, and in the end, it did go the way of a Creator. And now we have our first qualifying match of the night. It is going to be Creator versus Lambo in a best of 5.
Yeah, okay, so we get arguably a slightly stronger EU Zerg coming out, but I wouldn't be surprised to see similar plans coming from Creator. Lambo does play very different to Wayne, though. Lambo all about those particular timings to match up with the build selection of Creator, and I do think that means we're going to be seeing a very different pace of game.
Definitely, and as you were saying, so Wayne, something that we did see that permeated throughout that entire best of 3 is that Wayne was so willing to cut drones, to like cut workers and to invest heavily into roach play, and that's kind of his style, right? That's kind of the vibe that Wayne has against Protoss. Lambo can do that, but as you mentioned, Lambo, he has very specific kind of builds for specific scenarios. He's a very preparation-based player. He has very different like outlook here on his playstyle on this matchup. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Gonna be very different.
Yeah, I think if we see Lambo do that, it's gonna be a very sharp punish sort of timing. A little bit similar to what we saw Wayne do in the first game, but I feel like Wayne did it more as a reaction to losing drones.
Exactly. So a much more meticulous ZVP is upon us. Because it's a qualifying match, if you're in the chat, predictions will soon be open, so you can get your gamba on and try to predict who will be our first qualified player for the IMNA closed qualifiers.
Yep. And as that happens as well, we've got a raid coming in from Vindicta. So thank you very much. It was good to see you play again. Sorry we didn't get it done in the TVZ, but that's the way it goes. Ultra's busted as hell.
Let's go, Papi. Let's go. As you were saying, big shout to Miguelito. Miguelito, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you, again, hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you had a good stream. It's good to see you, you know, continuing to stream. And I know, you know, Migs, he's got his IRL job and IRL commitments now. But yeah, it's, thank you for the raid. Thank you, Papi. Thank you.
It's time to play League, Mix. Come join us.
You're an animal. You're an animal. But yeah, we are getting ready here for our qualifying match as well. Vetoes are just currently underway for that, and I guess we can also catch up on some of the other results that have been coming in the bracket.
All right. Let's refresh. Okay, so yeah, Lambo takes down Mana 2-0 to come into this match. Apart from that, looks like not too many new results. DRG was able to take down TLO 2-0, so he'll be going up against Coffee. I do think that's actually a pretty close match. Usually DRG would be favored quite heavily against Coffee, but Coffee's been getting very good lately.
Oh yeah. Coffee has been doing insanely well, especially in his own region, or even outside of his own region, so that is going to be a really good series. That is going to be ongoing there towards the bottom half of the bracket. Future versus Classic still ongoing, still in a best of 3. But yeah, that's going to be interesting here. Coffee, DRG, Future, Classic. A lot of this can go either way. I feel like obviously DRG and Classic are favored to meet. But again, Coffee and Future, they can cause upsets.
Yeah, especially Future. Future's been able to take down some of the top Korean players, and I'm sure he has nasty builds prepared to do exactly that.
Nasty, Papi, nasty. Scrolling up, we got like Korea versus Korea here. Ryung did 2-0 Strange, so we got a TBT between Bunny and Ryung. That can also go either way. I do think Bunny is a little bit hot right now. I do think he's looking a little bit more impressive. But Ryung, you know, he's a TBT master. You know, it's all about that positional play, and yeah, that's actually going to be a really good TBT.
Yeah, like you're saying, Bunny's back in form. We did see him take a little bit of a break and come back looking pretty bad for his standards, but he's definitely looking like himself again lately.
It's great to see, Harsum versus Laser, that could still go either way. Harsum did 2-0 Arcfire, so you know, my condolences to the up-and-coming young French player, as Arcfire did go down. But yeah, Harsum versus Laser, that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's always a good matchup, so that'll be interesting. Meanwhile as well, Nightmare takes down SOS 2-0. He'll be facing Cristiano, who actually dropped a map to Holden, so that's a nice little pickup for Holden.
Yeah, Holden has been an up-and-comer for quite some time, so to take a game off of Cristiano, that is not easy. So big shout out to Holden there in that series. And in a PvP, anything can happen. I still want to favor Nightmare, but yeah, a big shout out to the Polish Protoss players, because you have both Cristiano and Geralt there in the round of 16 fighting for a qualifying match.
Yeah, Geralt going to be going up against Gumiho. That's going to be a tough match. Gumiho very, very good against players that are slightly less favored than him.
Definitely. Like, upsets are hard to pull off against Gumiho just because of how crazy of a player he is. But yeah, really good at TVPs and at PvPs that are ongoing in the upper halves of the bracket. If you do see something that you like here, and maybe we're not going to be covering it, there are plenty of other English streams going on. You know, plenty of other English coverage. I believe Fear Dragon is casting, which is really cool. I think yeah, Fear Dragon is also live on his channel.
Yeah, definitely got a few people covering this. Fear Dragon's always given love to NA, and looks like we've got Roddy and Bayo and ZG as well casting.
Yeah. There you go. Zombie Gub is live. Rotterdam, Behemoth, I believe. Pig. Pig hasn't been covering these qualifiers, but I think this is his first time rocking up here in the early morning on Sunday. So Pig also going to be casting, and Steadfast as well. So plenty of English coverage. I imagine most, if not all, of these matches that are currently ongoing are being casted in some way, shape, or form.
so early on a Sunday morning. I have to admit, I didn't set my alarm. I got really lucky. I completely forgot.
You're an animal, Poppy. You're an animal. Oh,
It's on my
God.
whiteboard. It's like there, so I can see it. But I just didn't do it.
Shaking my head, shaking my head. Now, thank you for finding the time to join me, Poppy. Thank you. I always appreciate it. Whenever we're able to cast together. I know you've been busy recently, but thank you. Do appreciate it.
Rufus, always happy to drop in and do a bit of casting.
Yeah. He likes it, Poppy. He likes it. Big shout out to Rufus. Big shout out. But yeah, what else have you been up to recently? What else have you been up to? Catch us up with the life of AsherBro.
Oh, it's playing League. We're League gamers now.
God damn.
So hooked on that game. It's so good.
You're an animal, Poppy. You're an animal. Ay. You're a team gamer now. You're a team gamer. Are you flaming your opponent? Are you embracing the league, or what's happening? What's happening?
I don't know. It's pretty hard to feel like being toxic when you're playing with people you know.
Yeah.
If I was solo queuing, like for sure, I would be telling people, like, you know, bot diff, you know, garbage, trash. I want my lane, but you know, what can you do when you don't have a jungler?
True. Yeah, so you've been streaming a little bit of it whenever you can. It's been good to see.
Yeah, I streamed a couple hours with Pez yesterday. It was good fun. It's a lot more relaxing streaming League than StarCraft. I can actually, you know, sort of have some time to think about the stream. I feel like, yeah, especially with, I don't know, maybe it's different with Zerg because the game plans are a little bit more straightforward, but I feel like I'm not thinking about the game if I'm talking, or I'm not talking if I'm playing StarCraft.
Yeah, I think the thing with League is that there's like downtime. Like there's like whenever you like TP back.
Yeah, when you walk back to lane.
Yeah, when you're walking back to lane, or if you happen to die or something, like there are brief periods mid game where you can actually like look at the chat or have a conversation and stuff. So yeah.
Myriads of periods, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we are just getting things ready. Looks like we're just sorting up some server rules as well. Just trying to figure out if it's like, you know, central, west central, or west central, or actually no, because it's yeah, I guess it should be west central west. I imagine they're not going to be playing on the east.
Probably.
I imagine.
Have you gotten a new Amazon supplier of ramen?
I still have my supply, Poppy. It's keeping me going. It's good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd say you definitely finish it by now.
Not that much of a degen. Asher, excuse me. But yeah, I still got my ramen supply going. I had some ramen this morning for breakfast. It was beautiful. Oh my god. Keeps me going, Poppy. Keeps me going. Yeah, we've been casting a lot here. You know, WTL has been ongoing. We're almost done with the round robin stage of World Team League. Almost done, and yeah, it's been really cool to see all these teams pop off. I guess there have been some new updates as well, right? Like Spirit got picked up by Na'Vi. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you saw that. Which is brutal because Psystorm are now down a pretty big player, which will impact them in WTL negatively, unfortunately. Smooch.
Spirit's been doing that a lot.
Mate, he has no
leaving
loyalty.
teams high and dry. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, mate, you know, I go where the money takes me. He's like, okay, fair enough, Poppy, fair enough. Get that bread.
But yeah, seeing a few teams pick up players. I think it's because someone was saying there's some kind of like combined prize for the Saudi tournament.
Gamers 8.
What's it called? Gamers 8, yeah.
Yes.
So basically having one StarCraft player for Gamers 8 for these like league teams or Dota teams is actually going to be really good.
Yes, there's a bonus if you participate in multiple esports at Gamers 8. So big teams are incentivized to kind of compete in as many esports as they can. And as you mentioned, because StarCraft is a 1v1 esports, then you only have to pick up one player, and then you can get like, I think it's like 300k or something. It's like it's
okay. Yeah.
There's a big bonus. Just saying.
When we saw Cloud9 pick up Gumi, it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but There's got to be something going on here. Like, what do they know?
Yeah, for sure. So that is most likely the reason, and I wouldn't be surprised if I was saying I think when it was announced that I wouldn't be surprised if another team or two come in and pick up another player here or there for that reason. But I also looked at the like current available players, and it's gonna be difficult. It's like I'm sure a lot of teams would love to like go for one of the big names, one of the big Koreans or Europeans, but for the most part they're on like some pretty stable teams. Like I don't know, I don't see like Onside, you know, like letting go of Maru or Solar like too easily, you know, like or like Shopify with their team with like Bjorn and Harsum and stuff like that.
I was actually going to say, I think Shopify might be in a position where they could pick up more players. I know the organization in other esports is doing really well. I was actually watching last weekend Game Changers, which is like a I think it's female and other marginalized genders Valorant tournament, and Shopify won that. That was actually so sick. I didn't realize, I'm not really big into Valorant or shooters usually, but that was so good to watch. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, like I don't really branch out into other esports, but I did see it a lot of it trending on social media. Seeing Shopify actually do really well in some of their other esports, which was surprising to me. So yeah, it was really cool to see, and really cool to see them excel there. As we are getting ready here in game, we have lobby, we have our lobby. But yeah, we'll see if Shopify. Oh, sorry, we're going to be remaking. But it is going to be interesting to see if Shopify do branch out a little bit here, and how they invest.
Yeah, if anyone's into Valorant, the Shopify vs Liquid finals from Game Changers was sick. It was so cool.
Oh yeah,
very close.
For sure. As we are going to be getting ready here for our next series. I do need a moment though. I do need un momento, papi, un momento. So. One second. We'll be back soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very well.
Yeah, we are getting ready for our next series. Looks like we're just getting all the casters involved. We're getting everyone filing on in here, and yeah, this is going to be a pretty juicy best of 5. This also means that we are actually nearing the end of the broadcast. I mentioned before, but it's single lim, right? It's single elimination, and soon all these qualifying matches, they're going to be beginning. They're going to be getting underway, and yeah, it's going to be popping off.
Yeah, it's a brutal format. Especially with the kind of caliber of players. We've seen a lot of top Europeans, a lot of top Koreans as well in this NA qualifier. So it's tough. It's tough competition.
Oh, it really is, as it looks like we have another qualifying match getting ready as well as we start up our own. Gumiho did 2-0 Geralt, and Nightmare 2-0'd Cristiano. So Gumiho versus Nightmare is also about to begin.
Yeah, okay, that's going to be a very exciting match too. Nightmare's such an aggressive player. I do feel like some of the weirder openings of Gumiho could actually be shut down by the Blink Stalker all-ins of Nightmare, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that one be a bit of a back-and-forth series.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what we want. That's what we're here for. As we are getting into game number 1, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our German Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo.
And in the bottom right-hand corner here, the Club NV Gamer, the Protoss in the red, this is Creator.
And if you're in the chat, predictions are open, so you can place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. Remember, it's a best of 5, and this could go either way, so predictions open. Best of luck, man. Best of luck.
vibing.
Yeah.
Having a little party over there.
Was vibing as we do foresee our natural. We're loading into Goldenrod for the first time here in this qualifier. So, you know, we have the ability to get into a couple of extra maps here because it is the best of 5. There are less vetoes. And do you have any thoughts? I know you've been able to sink your teeth into some more of these maps. Now you've been laddering a little bit more.
I do not have any thoughts, just generally speaking.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Thoughts don't start till 3 p.m. I'm sorry.
Like, it's too early, Pop. It's too early.
Yeah.
It's still bench time.
It's not bench time, but it's not it's not a live time.
Okay.
It's just this is prime league time.
You're like, mate, the brain is not active right now, okay? This is when I play
No,
league.
no.
Oh, I guess.
This is when clicking happens. We're only at that stage of mental development.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. I'll ask you later then. Okay.
There's someone in the chat saying that they can't have their cat sit in their lap like this because of how sharp their claws are. Rufus actually has like really not very sharp claws. I don't know why. I don't know if he's just like bad at taking care of his claws or something, but he can like scratch me as well, and it usually doesn't hurt too much. I know like most cats have like way sharper claws.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially because Rufus is an indoor cat and you don't have like tiles or anything. Like, I know that there are some people that they get like they have like flooring which helps like naturally like refine or like file back their nails and stuff like that, but like you've got carpet, so I don't know. Rufus has no excuse. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like he's got cardboard to scratch, but no.
There you go. Maybe.
He's just always been like that. He's just a gentle boy.
Yeah, he's looking after you, Pop. He doesn't want to hurt you.
He does. He tries.
Okay. You're like, no, he will kill me. He wants to, but he wants to.
He does his best. He's not sharp enough.
There you go. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. As we are getting into our next game, into our next series here. So far, nothing too crazy. Creator, he is going for a Stargate opener into an Oracle. So everything's looking normal. We did see like a crazy robot opener last series, but for now, you know, we're calming things down.
Yeah, pretty standard so far. I do remember casters like Maynard saying that PvZ, you could pretty much just start the game from like 5 minutes and you wouldn't miss too much. But 2 devs going down for 3 drones. I'd say that's probably an even trade considering the lost mining time as well.
Yeah, the downside here is that with the death of those adepts, that means that Lambo can go across the map, he can look to deny the 3rd base, so Creator has to reinvest, warp in an extra wave of adepts before he can expand. Meanwhile, the Oracle diving towards that main as well. Spore is not up and running. We have 2 queens in the main base. Meanwhile, at the 3rd, we have 2 queens as well.
Yeah, pretty solid defense by Lambo. Just going to be delaying those spores as long as he can. He did invest into a few extra lings here, so he's going to be trying to use those just to deny the 3rd, but Creator gets a few cheap shots off and should be able to get that up now.
Yeah, solid play here at a Creator. He may have lost his first Swordette, so he has another 2. He is able to get his 3rd base up and running. The Oracle is across the map, looking for some damage here at the 3rd. He does spot the Spore, but no worker kills yet from Creator.
Yeah, very clean, organized early game coming out from Lambo, as we would expect.
Exactly. And loading into Goldenrod, I did want to mention, of course, that it is a short rush distance by ground. You can be very assertive on this map. Despite that, your base setup can actually be quite defendable, and we have seen a lot of split map play here on Goldenrod as well. And things can get really awkward just because it's so congested. There aren't actually that many bases to take. So yeah, it's been interesting to see it play out.
Yeah, I've liked this map for TBC actually. But yeah, as you're saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases, with those edge bases being a little bit difficult to take. I do remember, I think it was Showtime saying that he really doesn't like playing split map on this map just because the way that the sensor towers, the Xel'Naga, towers are laid out and how wide out these edge bases are, it's usually going to be Zerg getting both of these bases, which is not ideal.
Yes, yeah, it can be really difficult for the Protoss to establish the gold or top right. Not impossible, but difficult. So, yeah, we'll see how that does come into play. The Oracles are going to be harassing. They're trying to find a way in, but so far, Lambo keeps up with all the rotations, does zone Creator back, and now we're able to get into Roach play, Lair as well, fully saturated. Lambo, I'm really impressed by how little damage he has sustained.
Yeah, very solid early game coming out from Lambo. You can kind of see the influence of his friend Alazer as well with how late some of these spores have gone down.
Ooh, exactly, as we're finally getting a couple of drone kills. The Spore not quite done here. 4, 5, 6 drones going down. Finally some damage.
Yeah, great micro there, just taking out those gas drones as they come through. Quite a bit of hull damage on the Oracles, but considering how standard and defensive and passive Lambo is playing, I think that should be fine.
Yeah, that should be okay. Behind this, it was a Twilight Council on the forward, so Blink and +1 as a follow-up. Third base is getting saturated. Creator is not going to be pushing out. He doesn't have Blink yet, but he does have energy on these Oracles, so he's under no real threat of being surrounded by Lings.
Yeah, Lings look like they're going to be going for a counterattack at that third. Creator is playing 6 gases before his fourth again, so we're likely going to be seeing that double Robo style coming out.
Yeah, definitely. As we catch some reinforcements, 1 Stalker, 2 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers are going to be going down. Big trades here from Lambo. He does get something for his troubles, but he is forced to cancel his fourth again.
Yeah, really nice move there from Lambo to catch the reinforce there, especially with Blink being just very slightly late from Creator.
Yeah, still 5 seconds away, so a very crisp move there from Lambo. He is attempting to retake his fourth as he's going for a Spire. The Spire is hidden behind the mineral line. Creator is headed in that direction. Is he going to scout? Up!
Oh, he comes very close to seeing that Spire, but it looks like he won't see it. Roach Speed coming out behind this as well. So quite often we have been seeing Lambo just mix in 5 mutas just to go for a bit of harass, maybe force a reaction out of the Protoss, and then switching hard back into that usual Ling, Bane, Roach Ravager.
Oh, definitely, and we'll see how hard he does commit to his mutas, as you mentioned. Meanwhile, massive Link counterattack. We force a cancel on the 4th base. We force out a force field as well, and the entire army comes back home. So a pretty good counterattack from Lambo, especially because it does alleviate some of the pressure and it does allow Lambo to take his own 4th.
Really nice force field though. Saves all those units as we do see that 4th is starting to come up. Second Robo is down as well. So second Robo with the Robo Bay, we see Colossus and Disruptors being produced. Should be able to get a nice ground pounding army here, but I think Mutas is pretty much the ideal transition here coming up against this.
Exactly. There are Blink Stalkers, don't get us wrong. There is anti-air available, but the Spire has not been scouted, and Creator is not really ready for this. He is getting some safety cannons and shield batteries in the bases, though, so he is going to have at least something to defend. Observer comes in, and the mutas have been spotted.
Yeah, mutas have been spotted. Decent commitment coming out from Lambo. He did go for 12, in fact, rather than just 5. So he might be able to start to get some pickups here. He'll at least be able to keep Creator pinned back in the bases with the Stalkers.
Exactly, and we'll see if Lambo can get some damage done. He's got Ling Roach kind of marauding around between the 3rd and 4th. Meanwhile, we have the mutas working towards the main base. It's going to be on Creator to split up his army and successfully defend all of his bases all at once.
Yeah, Lambo doesn't want to take a direct fight here. The ground army of Creator is extremely strong, but if he can split it up, cause an undersplit somewhere, or get on top of some probes, that's going to be ideal.
Exactly, and we can see Lambert sharking around looking for that opportunity. For the time being, he does meet the Colossi and he is forced to back off. Meanwhile, that's a second Stargate on the way. Phoenix production has commenced. We should be investing into around 5 or 6 Phoenixes here. No overcommitment, especially because Lambert is not making any more mutas. He made the 12, and from here going Ling Bane, Roach Ravager.
Yeah, the Baneling timing is looming here, so once he does get up into those 20 to 40 Banelings and Bane speed, he should be able to start putting some pressure on the 2 bases, the 3rd and the 4th.
Exactly. Meanwhile, this observer between the bases does also confirm the Lings and Roaches coming out, so we're aware that we're committing to a ground-based army. Creator, he does know, and so far he hasn't really sustained too many losses. The mutas, though, they're actually making their way towards that 3rd. Creator in the middle of pushing out, so we could finally get some probe kills.
Yeah, Muta's going to be running on in. The Stalkers are caught out of position, but there's a lot of cannons and shield batteries. Lambo actually being punished quite hard for that move.
Ooh, exactly. He's going to be losing a muta or 2 in the retreat. 1 muta going down so far. Meanwhile, Hive is on the way. Hydrogen as well. Looks like Lambo, he's thinking about going into Hydrolurker Viper. Not a bad transition, but it's still on the horizon, and Creator should be able to be online and active first.
Yeah, Creator's starting to move out with the Stalkers here, and he does have that Robo set up as well, so he's got some Colossus and Disruptors. If he can get some good force fields as well, it's going to be really nice for zoning out any of these Banelings, but it is going to come down, in fact, to those Banelings, whether they can get those connections they need.
Yeah, and there's not too much crease red here, so we have potential, or Creator even has potential for a good fight. Meanwhile, the mutas, they catch a Colossus across the map. Big pickoff.
Yeah, great move. Does get out of there before those Phoenixes can react as well.
Yeah, Phoenixes are racing across the map, and here we go. We're going to be pushing in. Stay Strap's going to be going off. Catches so many Banelings.
Wow, beautiful timing on the 4th field. big stasis trap on the Banelings as well. Creator, if he wants to, can try to time out a Nova as that finishes up.
Exactly, as we do have the Banelings trapped. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Mutas, they commit across the map. They get into a mineral line. 6 workers go down. They go straight for the main as well. Meanwhile, the stasis is about to run out here. Creator does not turn around.
Creator just continuing to poke. He doesn't want to distract himself too much. He wouldn't want to take a big fight while trying to deal with the Mutas. Oh, massive Nova on the Banelings.
Big connection. We pull back to a stasis field, actually. There's like 4 or 5 stasis traps set up here, and Banelings, they cannot touch the army.
Yeah, insanely good setup here from Creator. Does zone out those Mutas as well. Doesn't take too much damage from the Mutas. He had the perfect arrangement of cannons and batteries. I do think, yeah, if you're a Protoss in the chat that is struggling with Muta play, this would be a really good replay to watch.
Oh yeah, like Creator, he's done so well for himself. Banelings are about to finish up though, and another safe strap goes off, catching some of those things. The Colossi, they do kite back here to the safety of the rest of the army. Novas are going to be going off.
Yeah, those Banelings just disappeared, but Lambo's starting to get on top of the army now. That's another huge stasis trap, though. These stasis traps for Creator have been absolutely money, and it looks like the army of Lambo is just getting a little bit too small to deal with this, especially as he starts to transition into that Hydra and Viper setup.
Exactly. He needs more time. He needs some breathing room, and that's something that Creator is just not giving him. Nova's going to be going off once again, connecting with the Lings and Roaches. Roach count is being reset. The Mutas also got completely cleaned up. The Phoenixes just had their way with them, and now it's only Lingbane Roach Ravager here for Lambo.
Yeah, Creator's timing with the force fields and with the Novas is just so sharp. Meanwhile, we do see Lambo, though, trying to set up the gold base down to the bottom left. That is really going to help him out as the army is having trouble pushing into creep here.
Yeah, and the Vipers are going down to the Phoenixes. One Viper gets picked off, another as well, and it looks like we're going to be able to clean this up. The Phoenixes are taking a lot of damage. 2 Vipers, they barely do escape with their lives, but that was a really good move out of Creator, recognizing how vulnerable they were, and the 4th base does fall.
Yeah, pretty brave actually to run in there with those Vipers. They must have just not had energy for Paraborns.
And the last Vipers go down as well. Lingbane's going to be crashing on forward. This time, no stasis traps. We do connect with the Immortals at least. And do we have enough?
Yeah, the Immortals go down. The Banelings are crashing on in. They are falling by the droves now, though. And the 3 Colossus survive, I think, with this extra warp in of Zealots. And the Phoenix running in to pick up the last of the Roaches. That will be it. GG is called. Creator taking another PVZ.
GG, well played. Creator, solid defense, solid early to mid game, just not taking any damage whatsoever. His 4th was cancelled with that one time, but outside of that, he was able to keep up with the Mutas, and the Mutas, they didn't really pay for themselves. They did catch 1 Colossus, if you remember. There was like that one moment where he got a Colossus and he got like 6 workers, but outside of that, the Mutas, they weren't able to really add too much more.
Yeah, the Mutas didn't really get too much done just because the defense from Creator was so clean. He just had the perfect amount of cannon battery at each of the bases as well, and I think the positioning especially of that cannon battery was really nice.
Exactly, just really well done. And when it came to the attacks, the stasis traps, Bobby. The setup from a Creator was beautiful. And yeah, on top of that, it was also a really, really important timing from Creator. Remember, Lambo, he was working on Hydra Lurker Viper. He was working on that transition, but he just barely didn't get there. He was barely forced to engage in attack and fight before he could get into his ideal army.
Yeah, definitely. And now Creator's got that 1-0 lead, and it is of course a best of 5, so Lambo's got plenty of work to cook, plenty of room to cook. Getting my metaphors mixed up here. But we've got a bigger map here, so this should be a little bit nicer for him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Lambo's got to get in that kitchen, you know, get the fire going, hopefully not burn anything, and let him cook, Papi, let him cook. And yeah, I mean, the map there was really influential as well into the momentum that Creator got. We were talking about the short rush distance, right? And because of that, once you get momentum, it can be really hard to really slow down the aggressing player, and Lambo just didn't have the breathing room he needed to tech up. I imagine is going to have a bit of an easier time here on a larger map like Solaris.
Yeah, probably. He had a pretty solid early game. I feel like yeah, it probably did just kind of come down to the fact that there was a big investment into Mutas and they didn't really get that much done. I mean, 12 Mutas, that's 1,200 gas. It's pretty big commitment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for a perspective, right? Like, you invest into Mutas, you invest into the Spire, that delays your Hive, that delays your Hydrogen, that delays your Lurkerden, that delays that next step, and it was not quite worth it.
here we go. Chance at redemption here in the top right-hand corner for the Shopify Rebellion. This is Lambo.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Club NV, leading the series 1-0. It is Creator.
Creator's PvZ looking pretty clean today. Hasn't had too much trouble with Wayne or Lambo just yet, but I do expect Lambo is going to have some nasty timings prepared for certain maps, depending on what he sees.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if Lambo is able to adapt to Creator as well. Something that we saw last game from Creator is what he's known for, I feel, or at least a trend that I've noticed is that Creator, he usually is a very defensive and passive player. In that last game, like, he wasn't trying to hit any kind of earlier timing. He was just trying to set up on 4 bases, right? Get up to 4 base economy, then he can push out, then he can be active. And his opposing Zerg player could try to take advantage of him, right? And try to be greedy, drone up, tech up, and try to get ahead in that way. It's something that Lambo wasn't quite able to accomplish because of the earlier investment. But yeah, we'll see if he can maybe do that here on Solaris, or we'll see if Creator adjusts as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lambo should be used to that kind of play. I feel like most of the EU Protosses are playing that 6-gas style. So he didn't look uncomfortable in that game. Like, I feel like he knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
He just wasn't quite able to pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if that will change here on a larger map compared to Golden Aura. Again, Golden Aura, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more congested, one of the smaller maps in the map pool. So yeah, we will see a very different dynamic here in game number 2. For now, we're just getting into our openers, and it should be Stargated to a third once again from Creator. Shouldn't be being too adventurous.
Yeah, Creator's played mostly standard apart from that one disruptor drop game, and I think versus Lambo, just because Lambo is not as often going to be going for those early roach openers, I probably don't expect to see a disruptor drop coming out.
Yeah, I doubt it as well. I think that was more of like an anomaly or the exception from Creator, not the rule. So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on him. Third base is going to be thrown down. A little bit delayed here by this probe, being a little bit annoying, grazing past that location. But Lambo is going to get his third base up and running. The Adept arrives just a little bit too late tonight.
Yeah, so Creator knows everything that's going on here. Lambo, once again, going to be confident to just play a standard game.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking confident. May have lost game 1, but hey, it's the best of 5. You know, plenty of games to work with. We can afford to drop a map here or there before really kind of getting into the swing of things. And I want to believe that Lambo is definitely comparable to Creator when it comes to skill. Like, I believe that we can get it back and forth.
These Adepts in the main are going to be trouble. There's not too many Lings here to deal with it. It looks like, yeah, we are going to have a commitment there. The drones are getting pulled, but there's going to be a lot of them going down. 3 going down already. Actually, the same as last game. I think Lambo should be able to keep it just to 3.
Yeah, there we go. That could have been really scary. That could have been so much more, but Lambo does minimize his losses. Only 3 workers go down, and now we can go for a big Ling counterattack as well. Meanwhile, the Oracle is moving out across the map, but once again, Lambo, he's in position with his queens.
Yeah, this is identical to last game so far.
Yeah, exactly. Lings go for a counterattack. There are 2 Adepts back at home, so Creator is going to be able to defend, eventually take a third base. This time, Creator, he does commit, though. He does get a couple of extra workers.
That's a lot of hull damage. I think that's probably an even trade, though.
Yeah, exactly. Creator has to be very careful with this Oracle. We don't want to throw it away. We don't want to lose it too soon, too prematurely. Meanwhile, Lambo is in position to deny that third. And can he pull it off? Looks like he is going to respect the Adepts for now. He's going to rotate around towards the third base location, but we have the second Oracle lying in wait.
Creator's just playing safe, doing the right things. Looks like it's going to be a pretty standard transition as well. I'm sure it's going to be Blinken +1 as those double gassers are going down a little bit later than when he played the more 2-base style.
Exactly, and there it is. There's that Forge and Twilight Council, as you were saying. There's always a chance that maybe we could spice it up and go into Charge instead of Blink, but Creator should be working towards those Blink Stalkers. Again, very similar to Game 1.
You can kind of see why taking the hull damage on the Oracle is a problem here. That yellow Oracle does get shoot away from the Queens, and I feel like there would be a possibility that it could just kind of run past them if it wasn't already damaged. But we've got 2 more coming in for Creator here. 2 more healthy Oracles. They're going to try to snipe some of those drones coming down to the natural.
Well, exactly, as they head towards that natural base. But the Queens are in position, and we do force back the Oracles once again. But at the same time, we have 2 Adepts shading in. They do commit, but Lings are waiting.
Yeah, Lambo's early game looking fantastic here, though. The Adept's going to go down without too much trouble. He did lose a few more drones than this last time. But yeah, everything looking really solid. Lambo's obviously got a lot of practice in these kind of standard games, and they've got all the European Zerg players have, of course, got Raynor and Cyril to learn from as well. So we're always expecting to see their games be very clean.
I thought you were going to start listing off the Protoss players that they face off against, and you said Raynor, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Raynor, yeah.
There you go.
Showtime and Raynor, yeah.
exactly.
And then like 4,000 barcode 6K Protoss.
True. As Lambo is very well versed. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they do find their way into the main. They're going to be able to pick off a couple of workers here. Only one Queen to defend. We get 5 drones.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick off there for the Protoss. I think considering some of the corners Lambo was able to cut, should still be fine. As we do get the recall there on the Oracles. And once again, going to be moving out with this timing. Last time we saw this, Lambo was able to pick off some of the reinforcing Stalkers before Blink finished, but Blink is finishing it at a bit more of a crisp time this time around.
Oh, exactly. As Lambo is still getting ready for that Link counterattack. Meanwhile, Creator is pushing right through the center of the map, hoping to catch some of these Queens. The Link's not here to support, so the Queens are in some danger.
Yeah, this little speed zone here makes things a little bit more awkward, and it's a very congested area. Creator does have to make sure that he doesn't get surrounded here, though.
Oh, exactly. As once again, we catch reinforcements, but we do have Blink. We do dive back towards the safety of these shield batteries, just barely out of range, though.
Yeah, those front 2 Stalkers are going to be going down.
Yeah, they're going to be going down at the same time. The main army is going to be clashing. We do bait out that stasis trap. There is no other stasis trap behind this, but Creator, he doesn't gain any ground, and he did lose some Stalkers across the map. That is 2 dead Stalkers here for Creator.
Roach is going to be finishing just in time for Lambo to keep those Queens safe, but something to note is that the creep is being penned right back into these bases. Lambo hasn't been able to spread that just because the Stalkers are sitting here right on the edge, and that's going to be something that's really helpful later on when the Robo push comes.
Definitely, and the Robo push is on the horizon. Lings are being caught. Some of these stray Overlords are being caught out as well as Creator backs off. But something important that has just happened here is that this time Lambo gets his 4th. Last time he was forced to cancel this a couple of times actually, and Lambo had a hard time expanding. This time, double expanding, getting a 4th and a 5th.
Yeah, Lambo looking to have a pretty comfortable setup here as he is droning heavily. Got that Bane and Roach speed on the way as well, and it is going to be another Robo push coming out from Creator. So he's got that double Robo setup. He's got a Thermal Lance on the way, 4th being denied again, and a few Stalkers picked off too. So yeah, everything coming up a little bit better for Lambo.
Yeah, exactly. He's had so much more freedom and control in this game, shutting down the drops, going for big counterattacks, observers coming in. I'm sure we want to try to see if there's another Spire on the way, just like the previous game. And yeah, Creator, he's just kind of stuck at home here, still just trying to get that 4th up.
Yeah, interestingly as well, Creator hasn't gone for charge just yet. He might just be going purely for Stalker Colossus.
Yeah, interesting choice here not to invest in those charge lots here or Archons either. So Stalker Colossus Disruptor, as you were saying. We'll see if Creator can pull this off because Lambo is about to max out. Banelings are getting ready. Baneling speed is now done. And we're looking at lay siege upon this army, and Creator doesn't see the army. He doesn't know where Lambo is.
Yeah, Baneling time are going to be coming on in, but this is a pretty congested area to run through. Really nicely done there by Lambo, setting off that stasis trap nice and early.
Second stage trap also gets baited out as well, so good start here for Lambo. Meanwhile, the Oracles are going straight for the Ravagers, and the Ravagers are going to be focused down. That's still a lot of Ling Bane.
Yeah, really good movement here by Creator, just trying to get as many extra shots off as he can.
Yeah, exactly, as it looks like Lambo's going to try to come in from behind as well. Force fields are thrown down. Banelings, they're making their way towards those mineral lines, and can they make it in? Oh,
The North being pulled back, Creator fighting on 3 different fronts at once, and the Stalkers, without the support of the Disruptors and Colossus, getting absolutely melted by the Roaches, but I think there is not enough here for Lambo.
yeah, there's not enough. 3 Colossi rock up here from the natural base, and with those 3 Colossi, Creator's going to be able to force this back. Lambo is remaxing though on more Lings and Roaches, but Creator has momentum.
Lambo does not have Banelings. This counterattack is going to be really nasty to deal with. I'm not sure if Creator has force fields. It looks like no, he doesn't have any sentries, so he might not be able to commit fully onto creep with those Colossus, especially without a prism.
Yeah, and oh my god, he was lying and he was in position waiting for the surround here. He does catch some of those Lings and Roaches. Nova goes off. Big, not big connection, actually. Good split out of Lambo.
I'm a little bit scared for Creator here. This is a massive surround with all the roaches. Recall does come down, but the Colossus are going to be taken out. So Lambo defends this very effectively before that Prism can get there. And Creator, with a bit of an overextension, is now in trouble to the counterattack of Lambo.
Exactly, and that was huge. Looking at the units lost tab there, that was 2 dead Colossus and 2 dead Disruptors. The power units have been reset. We are down to 1 single Colossus remaining here for Creator, which means he can't really be too active. He's going to try to with these Stalkers, but he has lost any kind of pushing power.
Yeah, Creator just trying to set up a bit of map control here. He is going to look to kite any units back across the map with these Stalkers. Might actually be able to put pressure on this 5th as well. But apart from that, I do think... Oh, this is actually quite risky. He might lose these Stalkers.
Yeah, very risky. And here come the reinforcements. Roach is coming in to cut off these Stalkers. Recall was already used. Bear that in mind. So Creator has to be very careful with his movement.
Yeah, Creator microing on 2 fronts here very effectively. Nice stuff.
Oh yeah, he does actually kite all the way back to the safety of his 3rd base. He's almost there. We do have a Colossus lying in wait. The Oracles are coming in from behind.
Good force field does make it a bit more awkward for those Banelings to trickle on in. The Colossus is going to be able to deal with those as they make their way in towards the mineral line, and just continuing to just try and make as many pickoffs as he can with the Stalkers and Oracles is Creator. He wants to punish every little overextension of Lambo.
I'm very impressed by what Creator was able to just accomplish with those Stalkers. Like, I feel like any lesser player would have lost everything. They would have lost all the Stalkers, and that would have been game then and there. But no, Creator, he does barely preserve them. He's holding on. He's recovering. Lambo is maxed out on Lingbane Roach Ravager. Can Creator survive long enough to max out himself? That's the question, because Lambo's getting ready for a big counterattack here towards the north.
Yeah, really nice preemptive split by Creator. He's doing such a good job just being constantly active with these Stalkers, finding the army and just picking off just a couple Banelings, a couple Ravagers every now and then. And that's just going to make all these defenses a lot easier for him.
Yeah, exactly. As once again, impressive that he does control a macro on 2 fronts. He avoids the surrounds, at the same time going for a Zealot counterattack. Looks like he has just realized that charge isn't done, so the slow lots are going to be cleaned up. Charge is halfway done here for Creator, working on +3, still building up a ground toss army.
Yeah, but Creator with that move, just continuing to buy time for himself and keeping an eye on the map. His map control with these Stalkers and Oracles has just been really exemplary.
Oh, they really have been, but can he keep up? Because Lambo, he wants to commit. Banelings are being cleaned up here towards the north, though, and we have Colossi waiting towards the south, so there's no easy way in for Lambo. He's trying to split up his army, maybe trying to find another way in. What's a little bit concerning, looking at the tech here, is the Infestation is just now on the way. There is no Hydrogen, so we're still committed to Lingbane Roach Ravager. We're still looking to work towards Hive Tech and potentially Hydras later on.
It's going to be waddling on into the main. That causes a huge reaction from Lambo, bringing everything back to safety while he tries to deal with that. And it looks like these Banelings off to the side are going to be caught out by the Stalkers and the Oracles. Really nice stuff here from Creator, and he is starting to get some momentum now.
He really is, as he's double expanding, by the way. He's taking a 5th and a 6th base at the same time. He's winning on both fronts, and now he's going to be pushing on both fronts as well. Hatcheries are being taken. Lambo, he is amassing his army here on the right-hand side, but Creator is pushing on the left. This base is exposed.
Yeah, it feels like Creator is just outpacing Lambo here. This ring of vision and control on both sides of the map has been really beautiful. The Oracles constantly tracking every little movement of Lambo.
Exactly. Well, now we're going to be trading a base for a base. We force a cancel towards the south. That's going to be a kill towards the north. And Lambo, does he come back home or does he keep pushing? Looks like he wants to try to turn her back around, try to catch some of this army.
Oh, this main army from Creator is absolutely terrifying. If he can wedge himself into a good spot, Lambo might not be able to fight it. It looks like Lambo agrees and he will be going for a full counterattack. It's going to be a base trade.
Full base trade here as we're pushing towards that 3rd base as well. Baneling's going down. Lambo turns back around. He's racing back home.
Yeah, indecision from Lambo. Realizes that this army is just a little bit too strong. If he bleeds out units during the base trade, he will never be able to take the fight. So he might as well take the fight when he's at his strongest.
Yeah, but this position is so brutal. We recall back home. We recall the Colossi back home, and we're going to be able to hold on to this base. Meanwhile, the Banelings, they can deal with the rest of the army, though.
Yeah, interesting recall. Baneling's going to be wasted on these Archons, though. They are going to be trying to run past those, get towards the Disruptors and Stalkers, and yeah, Lambo saves a good amount of those Banelings. That's very fortunate for him, and I'm a little bit confused as to where we stand in this game now.
Yeah, Lambo, he's down to sub 40 workers, but he's maxed. He's maxed out on an insanely large army. He has a couple of bases up and running, but he did just lose 2 hatcheries. Economically, Creator is ahead, and Creator, he's going to be able to remax. Meanwhile, Lambo, he's pretty committed. He's pretty all in at this point.
Oh, big Nova is going to be taking out some of these roaches. A lot of the banelings getting peeled off as they walk in. Creator once again just being so active with these stalkers, picking off every piece of value that he can get here.
Yeah, and a big warp of themselves into the main base as well, going to be distracting his opponent. We just see Lambo trying to collapse on this position, but with these Colossus Disruptors and Archons as well, mate, Creator, he does hold.
Yeah, the Immortal stands its ground. It is backed up by those Colossus. It'll be keeping any lings off them. Looks like the drop has been dealt with here. There's definitely enough roaches to stop the Zealots from getting damage, or at least there should be. But 11 drones have gone down. Lambo really suffering when it comes to the economy right now.
Yeah, Lambo, we mentioned before that he was all in. He's down to 26 drones. And even though the supplies are looking close, again, that is inflated supply because these roaches, the soup does sometimes lie here. And Lambo, he has to make something happen with this army.
Creator is just so active with these stalkers, it's insane, but really nicely timed counterattack by Lambo. He is finally going to be able to take down this base to the bottom right here. It doesn't want to bleed off too many units, but Creator continuing to force fights, force little skirmishes, trying to just be the faster player, which I do think he has been.
Yeah, he has, but this is still going to get really awkward here as Lambo's also coming in for a big engage as well. Some of the Archons get caught out. 3 Archons are going to be going down, so big pickoff for Lambo.
Yeah, it's really important for Creator here that he keeps these Immortals alive. The Immortals going to be absolutely crucial. And 3 Immortals chunking through these roaches. They are getting annihilated.
Oh my god, the Nova goes off and it does connect. GG gets called. Creator, he cleans up the army. There was nothing left for Lambo. And Creator takes game number 2.
Yeah, game number 2 going to Creator. That one was a little bit more spicy. A very exciting game coming out on Solaris.
Exactly, and even though the recall was a little bit questionable from Creator, where he did lose a lot of supply across the map, what he did do was still cripple the economy, right? He crippled the bases, the economy, and he was able to preserve his own economy and army, enough of it to be able to survive, and just kind of forced Lambo into a really all-in position, into a really uncomfortable position, and yeah, just really impressive play overall. Like I myself am really impressed by how Creator was able to control on multiple fronts and come out ahead. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, the activity and the value that he got from those oracles and stalkers just being constantly out on the map, picking away at the army, keeping an eye on the movement of the army, was really the success in that game. Because Solaris, it's a pretty wide open map, so you have to keep track of all these different angles that the Zerg can be coming from.
Yeah, like whenever we would like pan over, you know, we would see Creator just blinking back or avoiding the biles as well with his oracles and stalkers, and it was just so impressive that he was able to keep up with the tempo of Lambo and even overcome the tempo of Lambo as well. Not an easy thing to do. So yeah, Creator, mate, he's on fire today.
Yeah, there are oracles following the army every single time. I just did not see Lambo move out with Bane Rav without there being an oracle just hovering over it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And with that, we're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of this series.
Yeah, that's right. So this is one of the last chances for the player in the bottom right to fight back for the rebellion. This is Lambo.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Club NV, up 2-0 in the specified qualifying match. It is Creator. That's the 15-15.
Yeah, Lambo going to be using the 15-15 just to prevent that hatch from getting blocked. Maybe a little bit scared of having the bases split just on this map in particular.
Oh, exactly. And I don't blame him. You know, we're talking about like the potential for aggressive openers on Oceanborn in the previous series, and Lambo's fully aware of that. So just going for a very safe opener here. A little bit less economic, but safe nonetheless from Lambo, and he just wants to get into a solid, stable mid game.
Yeah, he's going to be delaying his gas a little bit, so it could also be that on this map he is a little bit more confident defending the Adept harass. So yeah, the gas is going to be going down at pretty early time, so not going to be delaying it too much. I think it should be completely fine.
Yeah, exactly. Getting into the a little bit of an earlier gas to get into ling speed to be able to keep up with Creator, and yeah, Creator, he hasn't really been doing much different. I mean, I say Creator, same with Lambo. We've had some very similar openers here between the two of them. You know, maybe it's like some Adept, some Oracle Harass, but yeah, nothing, no major deviations, I should say, from either player.
Yeah, 100%. I think this was the map that Creator did go for the... Yeah, it is. This is the map Creator went for the Disruptor drop against Wayne. I would be pretty surprised if he did that versus Lambo. Lambo actually changing up his Overlord scouting a little bit as well. Looks like he wants to dip in and make sure exactly what's going on.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He just wants to make sure that everything is on the up and up, getting eyes on the Cyber Core as well to make sure that it is, in fact, not going to be a Twilight Council-based opener. We do have Warpgate finishing up, and oh, he's doing it again!
Yeah, he fakes out that it's Stargate as well. That was really cute. So
yeah.
Often with Stargate, you'll start the Warp Gate and then cancel it, drop down that Stargate, and then start it back up again. So he does the same timing, even though you don't necessarily need to do that with a Robo because it's less gas.
Exactly. So you love to see it. So yeah, we do have Creator just faking out his opponent here, working towards that Disruptor drop, very similar to what we saw against Wayne earlier today, and we'll see if Creator can find and have as much success this time.
I do think the Stalker first is a little bit sus. It's pretty rare for Protoss to do that unless they're going for some kind of aggressive opener, but he will be able to at least keep Lambo in the dark, and I wonder if he's going to be going for that same move with the fake warp in. I do feel like though Lambo's going to know exactly what the tell is for that. I'm not sure what it would be, but that's the kind of thing that Lambo would be extremely interested in knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already a little bit sus that Creator hasn't gone for the double Adept harass that he has gone for every other game.
True.
So Lambo should know that something's up, and yeah, we do see the Roach Warren going down a lot earlier. That goes down almost at 3:30, so that's going to be prepared for any kind of Adept timing, which is what Creator's trying to fake.
Yeah, Creator is trying to fake that out, and I'm sure Lambo is now a little bit wise to the fact that we've seen a little bit less aggression. We already have that Roach Warren on the way. I think that was throwing down at around the 3-minute 30-ish mark, so really early Roach Warren. Lambo will have Roaches out, but once again, I'm sure Creator wants to try to fake out Glaive Adepts as he's moving out with those Adepts and still building up that Disruptor count.
Yeah, for Adept's going to be moving across the map. The Overlord does spot this, and he does have these Overlords at the front. Yeah, it looks like he's going to park himself right under that Overlord and be like, look at me, warping in Adepts, definitely going to be attacking you.
Oh, it'd be a shame if I adepted you, Papi. Oh no, as we cancel the warp in and we just shade back home.
Yeah, there we go. So he does actually force some Roaches to get made, which he didn't manage to do versus Wayne, but the second those Adepts got cancelled, immediately 10 drones got started up for Lambo. So yeah, it looks like Lambo is at least reacting very quickly to what he sees.
Oh, exactly. As we do see Creator going to be backing off here in the end, and now here we go. The Disruptors are on the way. We have Colossi behind this, and Lambo, can he keep up with the aggression of his opponent? We have the Spores being repositioned, Queens moving forward. Upon seeing the Adepts retreat, I'm sure Lambo is now aware of what's been happening. Oh my god.
Yeah, Lambo knows what this is, so good adjustment there. Oh, that's just, yeah, a little bit wild. The Creator still dropped that Disruptor, but Lambo did face a pretty hefty supply block just then.
Nova's going to be going off. We do have a split with the Queens, but one Queen is going to be going down. Whew, that was almost disastrous there, but Lambo does avoid that damage, is going to be backing off. Ooh, and likewise, Creator has to retreat as well. Has to respect these Queens. It did take quite a bit of hull damage on that Prism.
Yeah, and this is looking very similar to the game versus Wayne. What happened versus Wayne as well is we did see Creator, yeah, he put together this little army and he poked out, just forced a few extra units. Wayne ended up going for a 3-base Roach timing, which is, you know, kind of also what Lambo looks like he's working towards, and that was very effectively shut down.
Yeah, exactly. As Lambo is going to be cutting workers, a big wave of Overlords are on the way for good reason. We have 7 Overlords because we're going to be making nothing but Roaches at this point. Roaches and Ravagers are on the horizon here. Lambo wants to try to punish Creator. Can he pull this off? Lambo, he's squeezing out a couple of drones here and there, which is interesting. Yeah, actually investing quite a bit into these drones, taking additional gases here. So it looks like Lambo, he may just have this for safety and isn't actually going to be committing too hard. He's teching.
Yeah, I think he just wants to have enough units to be safe for any 2 or 3 base timing. Creator is going to be once again, yeah, poking forward with this small ragtag army, but I think Lambo already has enough to deal with this.
Oh yeah, as we do push onto creep here, we do clean up some of those tumors. Lambo is ready for it, as you were saying. He should have plenty here to deflect the army of Creator. Meanwhile, Darkshine on the way. Again, I'm getting some serious deja vu. Like, Creator is playing very similarly against Wayne.
Exact same game plan, but the difference here is Lambo is going into that Hydrogen and Infestation pit much earlier.
True.
So he should have actually a pretty decent amount of lurkers ready for the first push, which Wayne wasn't able to do. Wayne had 2 lurkers ready for the first push, and that timing really was quite awkward for him to deal with.
Oh, exactly. So Lambert, he's already embracing a bit of a later game. Nova's going to be going off. The Disruptors do survive. A couple of Lings going down, but no big connections here. And it is just really important to emphasize the fact that Lambo is taking up so quickly into these lurkers, and he should be able to get into them. It's going to be close though, because Creator is still pushing. He's still applying pressure. There is still a bit of a danger here, and you do have to respect this army.
Yeah, it looks like Creator's going to go for a bit of an earlier timing, so he does recognize what's going on here. And if he can force some extra units out, he can make this transition a little bit more awkward for Lambo.
Oh, exactly, as we still have +2 and charge on the way. We're just poking onto creep here. No big commitment from Creator yet. He did just scout with hallucinations. I think he did see those hydras popping out, so he should be aware of what's going on. But I don't know if Creator can really do much here. Like, he can poke and prod, but yeah, he's taking a 4th base. He's trying to work on that next step.
Yeah, just kind of making some room for himself, setting up any future pushes here. We're seeing him once again, yeah, being very active with the Stalkers, just trying to get as much value out of Blink that he can.
Yeah, exactly, as Nova's going to be going off, not quite connecting with the army. A couple of Roaches do take some hits here from the Stalkers, and Creator just vying for map control. Meanwhile, Two Adepts, they do shade into the 4th base, but there's a Spine Crawler ready.
Yeah, Nova just grazes the tail there of that Roach, but only 2 drones going to be going down to the Adept Harass. We do have a 5th coming up for Lambo as well. So yeah, overall this game going a lot cleaner for Lambo than it does for Wayne, just because of the more passive playstyle. Yeah,
and speaking of cleaner, that is a Stargate on the way. Creator maybe thinking about that Skytoss transition, which I think would be wise, especially if he's aware of the lurkers. But Lambo is going to be able to get into Hydra Lurker Viper first. So Creator's going to be stuck with a ground toss army, and he's going to try to incorporate Immortals here.
Yeah, just the single Stargate so far. Okay, 2nd Stargate going down. I was going to say, if it was just going to be the 1 Stargate, we have seen quite a few Protoss players just doing a single Stargate transition to get a mothership out, and then eventually adding the extra Stargates once they feel safe.
Yeah, we have seen plenty of that, but we do have additional Stargates in production. There's a fleet beacon on the way as well, so Creator, he has recognized that he's a little bit late to the party. He now gets confirmation with this hallucination that the Lurker Den is done, the Hive is done, Lurker upgrades are on the way. Viper's a little bit exposed, but we do get one of the Disruptors.
Yeah, Disruptor goes down. Fleet Beacon is going to be going up for the Protoss, so it looks like Creator doesn't really want to commit to a fight here. He just wants to kind of dance back and forth, slow down the army of Lambo, stop these Lurkers from sieging up on his 4th, and get into those carriers as he can afford it without dying.
Yeah, but can he get there? You know, the not dying part is important. It's it's hard to do as well. As here we go, we do have Novas going off, but the Vipers, the Yoinks are too good. They get every single Disruptor.
Yeah, really nice force fields, but that's a lot of tech units going down here. And we do have the Immortals finally coming out, but yeah, now we have Yoinks for the Immortals. I think Creator might be losing this game. Lambo looking to make a bit of a comeback now.
Exactly. Lambo again taking up into Hydra Lurker Viper so much faster compared to Wayne, is able to break through towards that 4th base. Creator losing every single red base unit. He's going for a big counterattack. He knows he cannot engage with the Lurkers.
Yeah, it's going to be giving up that 4th and coming in with those Stalkers, but the reinforcements should be able to deal with that. The main thing here for Creator is, if he does have an effective counterattack, this might buy him enough time to get up some carriers.
Yeah, I mean, carriers are in production. Big revelation here. A surround.
Oh, the army's very split.
It is very split. Can we engage as the Immortals? They're pushing up the ramp. They get 2 more of those Lurkers. 2 Lurkers do survive across the map. Their base is going to be going down. 7 probes as well.
Yeah, Lambo being punished here for sending the Lurkers back home without the support of the Roach Hydra, but well, that is not a good rally. The Robos rallied right into the thick of it there.
Exactly. Immortal and the Disruptor goes down. Meanwhile, another base has gotten up and running. Creator, he's going to be able to hold on to it, but here come the Ling reinforcements. They catch some of these Stalkers. Without Colossi, the Lings, they're going to be able to shut this down.
Yeah, I love the Ling reinforcements here, and I think that might just be the nail in the coffin, as these Stalkers and Immortals, they are kind of cut off from any kind of help that they can get from robo units and carriers.
Exactly. Hot pick up there on those Immortals. We're going to be able to save them, but Lambert with a more mobile army, he does come across the final one of these bases here of Creator. He does come across the fourth, and there's no way to retreat. There's no way out of this.
Yeah, the Zealot Stalker Immortal is getting pushed into the corner here. The Blink is committed. There's no battery here, so these units, they are doomed. The carriers are going to try to save whatever they can, but carriers, they kill roaches so slowly, and there's enough Hydras to pick them off.
Yeah, the carrier is going to go down the bases. Well, we get another yoink on the Disruptor. GG gets called, and Lambo fights back. Lambo takes game number 3.
Gee, very confident game coming out from Lambo, and he's making that robo opening look quite unsound.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you do recognize it ahead of time, if it doesn't really deal much damage, then you can take advantage of it. And yeah, Lambo's so quick to tech up, so quick to rush into that hive, rush into those Vipers, and yeah, he was able to just out-tech Creator in a big way. Creator, he was working towards Skytoss, but it was just too little too late. Could not get into by the time he got into the carriers, like, he was already down. He was already losing his economy and losing control of the game.
Yeah, the Lurker Viper timing, really solid from Lambo, and he was just getting way too much value, picking off all the Colossus, all the Immortals. So I think if Creator was somehow able to keep those units alive, he might have been okay, but yeah, unfortunately not.
Exactly, and with that, we're going to be we have a series. We have a back and forth. We're getting into game number 4, and really that's all we wanted. That's all we do want between these players, and yeah, this can still go either way. I mean, Creator still needs just one more win, but Lambo has shown that he can fight toe-to-toe with Creator.
Yeah, definitely. That was a much more effective game. I think Creator's going to be probably looking to go back to standard play after that, because the standard games went a lot better for him.
Exactly. We should be seeing Stargate openers. I'd be surprised to see another Robo, but we are loading into Hard Lead, and Hard Lead does have quite a short rush distance by ground. You can be very aggressive, very active on a map like this. Twilight Council opener, wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that, some kind of variation. I don't think Creator has to, but he may be tempted.
Yeah, Adept play would be really good here. I think Adept play in general, a little bit scary to do against Lambo just because he is so well rehearsed with his responses. But at the same time, it's a really good map for it. Creator has shown that his build choices seem to be map specific, and we haven't seen him play PvZ on Hard Lead today, so yeah, I'm expecting anything really.
Oh yeah, we expect anything at this point, and oh boy, we're just waiting to find out as we're getting ready for that next game, just getting the lobby ready. The players, they just needed a moment to set things up, but I don't blame them. Just a moment to breathe before diving into this. Meanwhile, we have confirmation. We have only qualifying matches left. From the top, we have Gumiho versus Nightmare currently ongoing. We have our own series, Creator versus Lambo. We have Bunny versus Harsum. Bunny did take down Ryung 2-1, knocking Ryung out, and that means that Ryung will no longer have another chance to qualify for IEM. Harstum 2-1 to Laser. He eliminated a Laser from the tournament. A Laser will not be a part of IEM Katowice.
Very impressive, and yeah, Bunny versus Harstum, that's a banger of a PvT.
Oh yeah. It really is. And just to get to the end of some of these updates, DRG did 2-0 Coffee, and Classic took down Future, but Classic dropped the map. They did go to the ace match, and Classic 2-1 Future.
Right, but as those results come in, one that is absolutely not set in stone is this one here in the bottom right-hand corner. Playing for the Shopify Rebellion, fighting back now and looking to make the reverse sweep. This is Lambo.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Club NV, still one game away from qualifying for the closed qualifiers. It is Creator. Here we go. Also, just to clear up some misconceptions, I see some people asking like, wait, didn't some of these players already qualify or not? If you did see a player like SOS or Gumiho quote-unquote qualify, it was during the open qualifiers to qualify for the closed qualifiers. It's a little bit confusing, but basically, this is a qualifier for a qualifier. And this was the case for every single region, for the Asia region and for the European region. Tomorrow is when we kind of determine who does and doesn't get the plane ticket to make it into IEM Katowice. Tomorrow we have, I believe it's special trigger. Hold on, I got a list. It's gonna be special trigger Scarlet and Cham waiting for whoever qualifies from this qualifier.
So does that mean SOS is in a closed career qualifier?
He was. Not anymore.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
He was at one point, and then he got eliminated, Papi. So that's why they did rock up here. So yeah, we didn't mention before, right, where Gumiho, SOS, Bunny, like they were playing in the European qualifiers, made it through into the closed qualifier, but didn't make it into the main event. So yeah, they've been on the grind set. A lot of these Koreans, they've been in every single qualifier, going the distance, but barely not making the cut.
Yeah, some pretty rough timings coming out from like that time for Korea can be quite rough if you're playing those EU qualifiers and that. But yeah, we're seeing something again a little bit different. It does look like it's going to be a Twilight opener from Creator here.
Yeah, it does look to be the case, as we do have Warp Gate on the way, our first tech of choice. Pylon is thrown down behind the mineral line, so unlikely for it to be a Stargate. And we were talking about how it can be so tempting on hard lead to go for Twilight Council openers just because you can be so much more aggressive and assertive on this map. Adept is going to be shading in, and we should soon be seeing the tech from Creator.
I actually have no idea why he hasn't dropped his tech yet.
Yeah, it's very late. We have the money for it. Oh!
I think he just forgot it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so as well. I think.
Oh, it's double Stargate. Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah. He didn't forget it. This is really cool.
Yeah.
So I think this is meant to look like Twilight Council. Because the Overlord's seen the, it's seen the Stalker, it's seen the, Adept being kept safe, it's seen Warp Gate from the start.
Yeah.
This is going to be probably Stargate Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, we assumed that it would be a Twilight Council, and we can see everything, and Lambo, I'm sure, is assuming the same thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see it a bit of an earlier Roach Warren as well. Yep, there we go, as if on cue, Roach Warren's on the way, so Lambo believes it's going to be another ground-based play, when really, Creator, he's going to be banking up Phoenixes in the main.
I believe this is the gas timing for 4Gate as well. The fourth gas is going to throw Lambo off a little bit. He might be able to work out from that there's something else going on. But yeah, we do see, okay, there's going to be spores getting started up as well. So Lambo just trying to catch ball a little bit here, making a small wave of lings as well, just to try to find out what's going on. It's obviously quite sus that there's no third.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is, like, with this fourth gas timing, this still looks like Twilight Council plus a Dark Shrine, right? Like, Glaive Adepts plus DT is also a big possibility, so I don't blame Lambo for throwing down these Spore Crawlers. Like, he's doing everything he needs to. He's doing everything he should be doing. Third base is soon to be taken, so Lambo's still trying to figure out what exactly is happening, and still with incomplete information.
Yeah, that Spore there set up to deal with either DTs or a Prism, it looks like, so... yeah, Lambo maybe a little bit confused as to what exactly is going on here.
Yeah, especially with the third base. Like, usually you would delay this third a little bit longer. Much longer, actually, if it was going to be Glaive Adepts into Dark Templar. So here we go. The Phoenixes are moving out. They do get spotted by the Ling. Now the jig is up. Now Lambo knows what's happening. And can he defend the Overlords? Immediately they turn back around. We're going to try to save whatever we can as Phoenixes are pushing out across the map.
I do wonder what the transition is going to be here for Creator. Usually after Double Stargate Phoenix, you're going to be seeing DTs, but he hasn't thrown down a DT shrine yet.
Yeah, exactly. You go for the Patty special, Papi. As one of the Overlords does get picked up, everything else is just returning. Third base is getting up and running. We're going straight for a Robo, actually. Okay, so... yeah, we could even be seeing like a quote-unquote like mech style from Creator, just going Phoenix into like Immortals. Yeah, that's not unheard of.
Yeah, definitely. Still no Twilight going down, so we do finally clean up that Overlord there, but the Phoenixes haven't found too much damage yet.
Yeah, they've only killed one. Immediately, we have a Hydrogen on the way here from Lambo, just with some anti-air. Phoenixes, they do go for a run by here at the third base, and finally, drones are getting picked up.
A few drones going down. This is the kind of thing that I'm pretty sure Lambo's going to have a very well rehearsed response for, but we do see the second robo is going to be coming down. It's probably going to be another one of the same sort of Colossus pushes, and I wonder if it's going to be charge first coming out and just an avoidance of stalkers altogether.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be charged just so we can afford that double robo production, but we'll see as Zealots are going to be diving into that main base. Speaking of another couple of extra workers, bearing in mind not a single Phoenix has died so far, but maybe I spoke too soon.
Inkster.
Oh my god.
Yeah, really good crane movement coming out from Lambo. He's going to try to pick off that last exposed Phoenix. It does look like it is going to be going down.
Yeah, one Phoenix does fall, but we get another 9 workers here as back at home, getting into that Immortal production. Twilight Council is done. There it is, Charshot Archon on the way alongside all these Immortals, so a very hefty army is in production. We're going for a Nidus.
Yeah, so this Nidus is going to be for reinforcement at the front. I don't think it's going to be for any kind of backstab or sneaky attack like that, but Lambo probably going to be looking to set up a Nidus maybe between the natural and the third at that kind of front base. And go for a bit of a queen setup here and just slowly wedge his way between the natural and the third.
Yeah, I mean, Lambo, he's all in basically. Like, he doesn't have a 4th base, no more economy here, no more tech. It's going to be one big push here with +1, and there it is, Nidus on the right-hand side. It's all or nothing for Lambo. We'll see if Creator can hold. He does have a pretty impressive Immortal count. He's making 2 at a time, so he's going to have quite an army here to defend.
Yeah, Creator very aware of what's going on here. We see cannons and batteries going down, Archons as well as Immortals. He does scout out that Nidus, and I do think the next Nidus is going to be getting set up now as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the goal here is Lambo's going to try to pull apart his opponent. That's a lot of queens, by the way, waddling on forward towards that third base. Shield batteries, cannons, a massive wall of static defenses on the way here for Creator.
You know, it's kind of crazy. There's no Overseer with this. If Creator had followed up with DTs, I think this would just be game over.
It would be brutal. It would 100% be brutal here if there were some Dark Templar. Meanwhile, we're going to be pushing on forward, leapfrogging with those Niduses. Decent force fields. We catch 2 Roaches. Roach speed just now finishing up, and Lambo is reinforcing with Lings. Again, he does have the supply lead, but that is inflated supply. We're actually going to be rotating over towards the left-hand side.
Yeah, so Lambo's just going to be trying to set up these little creep setups that he can springboard between. If he can start getting creep in between the natural and third, that's going to be a really nice position for him, just because the queens will be able to transfuse.
Oh, exactly. But we have accurately split up our Immortals here. We have 4 Immortals here at the natural. We have 3 Immortals on the right-hand side. Force fields being thrown down. We're diving on top of the army. Ooh. The Vials!
Yeah, Lambo's going for it. He's going to be able to get on top of that front battery as well as overcharged. I feel like that might not have been the right battery to overcharge, and it does go down.
Yeah, overcharge goes down. We do get 2 Immortals as well. Good pickups here from Lambo. Phoenixes are racing back home. Meanwhile, Lambo's going to rotate over towards the left-hand side. That's so many Immortals. Jesus. That's insane.
Really accurate bios coming out from a Lambo. Going to be zoning out, taking out all of those cannons. And this is going to be trouble as well, because I feel like these bios can just zone out the Immortals from the natural, and he can start to take down the third.
Exactly. It's going to be so difficult for those Immortals to reinforce the third base, but now they're on the way. Biles going to be spent here on the right-hand side. We do get into the mineral line, but here we go. The Immortals, they're coming.
Yeah, I think Creator's going to pull the trigger now. He is looking to jump on top of this. We do have the Immortals getting on top of the Queens, and the Queens are getting absolutely shredded. If enough of those Queens go down, the Phoenix are going to have free reign over the Ravagers.
Yeah, they already do, actually. Ravagers getting picked off one after the other. A massive Immortal army coming in for a mass surround as well, and Lambert cannot escape.
Yeah, I think this might just be it. This might be the end of Lambo's chances here. This might be qualification for Creator right here, right now.
Oh, exactly. As he gets some of the Queens, cleans them all up, shuts down the Nidus as well, and Lambo loses every single unit. He did kill 11 workers at this third base, but Creator still has the better economy, and Lambo has nothing else behind this. He did throw down a Hydra Den to try to get into Hydra production, but he's still on 3 bases.
Yeah, Lambo is super dead. He's going to be playing this one out just because it is such an important game, and there is always a chance that Creator makes a big mistake, loses a bunch of these Immortals, and somehow Lambo gets himself back into this game. But I think if this was a ladder game, if this wasn't such an important game, he would probably be out of here the second that retreating Nidus got cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, that's That's 10 immortals, Papi. That's oh my god, it's insane what Creator's working with. He's clearing up all this creep. He's gonna be taking up 4th base. Lambert also taking his own forward 4th base as well. There is a world where if he's able to maybe catch all these phoenixes, if he's able to get into a lurker den and maybe get like 4 lurkers up and running, 5 lurkers, and take a good fight, like there's a world where maybe he can try to hold. There is a slither of a chance, there's a slither of hope, but Creator's pushing. He's not giving Lambert that chance.
Yeah, I don't know. If Lurkers versus 10 Immortals, I wouldn't be feeling too good about that one.
Yeah.
But we do have Creator pushing in. He does have Storm finished now as well, so those Hydras are going to be in a little bit of trouble if they venture too far forward.
Exactly. You do have to take care here with those Hydras. Immortals going to be pushing forward. There are the Storms zoning back the army.
Yeah, and just look at all these units for Lambo already in yellow health just from the Immortals chunking through them in those Storms.
And that's a kill, not a cancel on the 4th base as well. 300 minerals down the drain. Ravagers being focused down. Queens are going to try to keep up here. The High Templar leading the charge, looking for those Storms.
Yeah, this is just desperation from Lambo, but I think Creator, he is taking this too slowly, too methodically. He is not giving Lambo any chances to get back into this one.
Exactly. You know, if he wanted to, he could have tried to back off, get his 4th base up and running and max out, but no, Creator. He's going for the kill. He's going for that close qualifier. GG, congratulations. And the Creator will take the 3-1 and qualify for the NA close qualifiers tomorrow. GG.
GG, very nice game plan there from Creator, hiding the double Stargate Phoenix and the response for Lambo just a little bit too late. The preparation from Creator a little bit too good.
Yeah, GG Creator. He was so set up for it as well. I mean, things were going Lambo's way, as you were pointing out, right? Like really good bios. He was able to zone back a lot of those immortals. So many of them were stuck in the natural base, and there was just such a narrow choke point for them to escape, but they made it through, right? They were able to file out of the natural. We had a massive surround as well, and Lambo, he just could not stop the tide of immortal. That was an uncomfortable amount of immortals to see at once. That was that was crazy.
I like
disgusting. You like it, Pop. You like it. I understand.
Yeah, very well played by Creator, so he will be going through, he'll be qualifying, and maybe we can have another look at the bracket, see where we're at with the rest of the games.
Ooh, exactly, as it looks like Creator is going to be the first player to qualify for the closed qualifiers tonight, and we have 3 more matches currently ongoing. At the top of the bracket, we have Gumiho versus Nightmare in a TVP, in a best of 5, of course, currently ongoing. Scrolling down from there, we have a Bunny versus Hearthstone in a juicy TVP as well. Europe versus Korea. I'm sure that's going to be a very entertaining series. And at the very bottom, DRG versus Classic, a Zerg versus a Protoss.
Yeah, Bunny vs Hearthstone, I reckon that's my pick. That'll be a very interesting game to be watching.
100%. It's always great to see, you know, these regions collide. The other matches are occurring over on the Korean server, because it is Korean on Korean action. But we can stick around here on the NA server and try to jump on Bunny versus Hearthstone. You know, we do have enough time to catch one of these final qualifying matches mid-series. But I'm sure it's being covered by someone. I'm sure there's some English coverage in that.
If I can suss it. Might be Pig. Let me check.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, Pig's got it. They are 1-1 right now.
Ooh, tied series. Let's go. Exciting to hear, actually. So Bunny versus Hearthstone, they're tied up 1-1, which means regardless of how their current game goes, there's going to be a game 4. There's going to be a game 4, and that is where we are going to be headed.
Well, it looks like Bunny's probably going to be winning this one.
Oh boy.
Still a little bit to go, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, the other option, I guess, is that we could try to find another series as well. We could try to find them, but yeah, for now, I guess we can, of course, just lie in wait here for what comes next. Oh, and who?
Yeah, I think Bunny vs Hearthstone is going to be a good game. I want that one.
Yeah.
Give.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Actually, this is pretty over.
you're a guest, Papi. You're a guest, so We'll go for it. We'll go for it. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, this is a bunny I love. Playing ultra aggressive into Phoenix Colossus.
It's crazy. So yeah, it's gonna be Lambo's teammate, right? Like Hearthstone also repping Shopify, looking for a way to make it into those closed qualifiers, and yeah, it all comes down to this as well. You know, this is the final open qualifier. You know, this is the last chance.
Yeah, I mean, for either of these players, it would be pretty disappointing to not make it through here.
Here we go. So from here, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be taking a moment here to hydrate our hydras, stretch our roaches, massage our marines, papi, tuck in the tempest, cuddle your carriers, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with Game 4 of Bunny versus Hearthstone.
See you soon.
See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OST. We have returned and we are jumping in mid-series into our next match, into our next qualifying match here between Bunny and Hearthstone.
That's right, and it is definitely a close matchup between these two players. Bunny looking incredibly fearsome though, and here he is spawning in the bottom left-hand corner for Mystery Gaming. This is the Red Terran, Bunny.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Blue Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Hearthstone.
And just like when we had Stargazers in the pool, we saw the Korean Terrans not being scared of it. It looks like Bunny not afraid of a bit of an unpopular map for Terran here.
Yeah, we are loading into Alcyone, and I mean, it is quite a large map here. One of the larger maps in the map pool. Long rushes despite ground. But what is it that Terrans typically don't like about this map?
I think it's just, there's just a lot of opportunities for weird stuff, and yeah, because of the bigger map, it can be a little bit difficult just to deal with the extra bases towards the sides here. It can be a little bit hard to keep your opponent off the gold base as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting up to a 3, 4, and even 5 base economy can be difficult to really break. But you know what? We want to believe, right? Like Bunny, you mentioned it before, but he's a very active player, very aggressive as well. We were lucky enough to cast Bunny over the past couple of days in qualifiers, in WTL as well, and Bunny, he's looking in form, right? Like he's looking strong. We actually casted Bunny versus TY yesterday in WTL, and Bunny was pulling TY apart, just constant drop play, just constant aggression. It was beautiful to see.
Yeah, looks like as well, Bunny recognizing that the core might have been just a little bit late, has snuck a bunker in behind the Nexus here, and he is going to be able to get this finished. Hearthstone didn't see this at all. He doesn't have any probes mining from that natural there, which is maybe a bit of an oversight.
Oh, exactly, as we do have that bunker finishing up. Reaper does make its way in. We'll make it into the bunker despite taking some hits, and we will deny mining here at the natural for as long as we can. And yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer to deal with this. Still no shield battery up and running, so it's going to take that much longer.
Yeah, I wonder if this is... No, okay, that battery's fine. I was going to say this might be map specific just because the pylon has to be a little bit further away from the Nexus, but this battery should be in okay range.
Yeah, should be an okay range here as it will finally finish, or eventually finish. Behind this is going to be a Stargate opener from Hearthstone, looking to get into Phoenixes or even Oracles initially. But Ep's going to be dancing with this. We do have some nice repairs here as they do edge a little bit closer, trying to get within range of that SCV.
Yeah, so Hearthstone, he does really like going for Phoenix Colossus, so not surprising to see him open up with the Stargate here. It has been a little bit less popular to go for 4-gate on these maps lately, just because they're a little bit longer. The mains are a little bit less open than the last pool.
Oh yeah, they are a little bit less open, and eventually the bunker is going to be dealt with. It is going to be Oracle first from Hearthstone, but from here he can go into Phoenixes. We'll see how hard he commits. Bunker is going to be salvaged just in time. Ooh, as we do get the salvage off, and Bunny does eventually get out, and Hearthstone can go back to mining.
Yeah, good positioning of the units from Hearthstone prevents that Reaper from running out of the bunker to go up and get the scout, but the Reaper going to get the scout anyway just because of this pylon placement. Can't really hide the tech there for the Protoss, unfortunately, if you do want to have that Reaper wall.
Exactly, so we do wall off, but we can't hide the tech. Robo's on the way, so Phoenix Colossus, as you mentioned, is on the horizon. Hellion does dive into the main, though. There's not much in position.
Yeah, so Hellion coming in from that follow-up scout. The Phoenix is going to be able to slow that down enough for the depths to get back, but unfortunately having to use a recall, so Hearthstone looking a little bit flustered here, and he is going to be losing one probe.
Yeah, one worker goes down, forces back the Adepts as well, so good damage for one Hellion. He also confirms the continued Phoenix production. Oh my god, as he's going to be able to
He's going to get it out. I guess he's playing safe because he doesn't know where the Stalker is.
Yeah. Just playing safe is going to be shut down, but again, just really good value for that one Hellion.
Yeah, really annoying there out of Bunny. And behind this, he is going to be, but now that he's seen the Phoenix, he can skip tanks altogether. So he's going to have a much faster stim and combat shields timing. Should be able to move out for an attack around 6 minutes instead of the usual 6:30, 6:40.
Definitely, yeah. So he's just prioritizing that bio production, of course. We have a job moving out across the map. A bold move, considering that we have Phoenixes, plenty of them for map control, and Phoenixes are even in position outside of the main. So a risky maneuver here from Bunny. We'll see if it can pay off as he does head out towards the right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, the Bay already in production. Colossus soon on the horizon for Hearthstone.
Yeah, it's a really cute way to do it. So basically what he's going to be doing is just looking for any pylons on the edge here and just clearing them out, keeping Hearthstone in the dark. And that just makes the Phoenix movement way more difficult for Hearthstone. So Hearthstone has to keep the Phoenix back at home just because he doesn't know what this drop is up to.
Exactly. Now he does spot the medevac drop. He's aware of it. We can see Hearthstone anticipating a drop into the main, but Bunny doesn't commit. He also saw the Phoenixes, so Bunny knows that his opponent should be in position, and the medevac drop is going to rotate around.
Yeah, this is really clever from Bunny. Just by showing this drop, these Phoenixes can't be harassing him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they cannot be harassing. They're kind of stuck here back at home. Meanwhile, here comes the push. Unscattered, by the way. We do have control of the Zelnaga, but it's being forced back and only seeing the single drop, which means Hearthstone does not see the main push.
I love this as well, splitting off that drop. So he's going to hit that into the main as he shows the army at the front.
Exactly, and here we go. Bunny going for the 1-2 punch. We do see the first Colossus has arrived. We have a shield battery on the way. Scouting probe does come across these units, does confirm the army. Now Hearthstone's going to be getting ready here on the front lines at that third base. At the same time, there goes that drop.
Yeah, and there's no pylon on the edge there, so this drop is not spotted. Another effect of that drop moving out earlier on. Normally there would be a pylon there to spot this, but there isn't, and this is going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, so far unscattered unload here. Bunny doesn't even have to commit here on the front lines as he does dive in towards that into that main base, gets the shield battery, and does force off every single worker here in the mineral line.
Yeah, and he's going to be looking to depower this. Oh, and he gets to slow down Thermal Lance. That's huge.
That is massive here. Big pick up. And meanwhile, at the same time, on the front lines, he's looking for a way in, looking for a dive here, going for a mine drop.
Oh, he's going to drop on top of this. This is amazing. I love it when Mario does this as well. So he will be able to drop these mines right on top and target that Colossus. The shield battery overcharge immediately taken out, and this might just be the end.
It may be the end. The Immortal does go down. Phoenix is being targeted down as well. The Colossus exposed. GG gets called. Bunny overwhelms Hearthstone with his push, and Bunny qualifies for the closed qualifier.
GG, really nice anti-Phoenix Colossus play coming out from Bunny. That was beautifully done. I really got to point out as well, just again, that little 8 Marine drop to the right-hand side of the map there did so much for him. The other thing that I'm noticing now as well, because of that little mineral wall that makes it a little bit harder for probes to get there, that drop kind of just guarantees that a probe's never going to be able to get over there to get vision.
Oh, exactly. It's just so difficult to actually see that drop coming ahead of time and prepare for it as well. So GG, well played. Congratulations to Bunny for advancing on, for making it into the closed qualifier tomorrow. And it looks like that was the final series left. It looks like, Asher, we have all of our qualified players.
Okay, let's have a little look-see. Refresh. And okay, so Gumiho takes a 3-2 versus Nightmare. That must have been a very, very close game. I was saying that Nightmare's aggressive style can kind of throw a bit of a wrench in the works for how weird and corner cutty Gumiho can be with his builds sometimes. Of course, we saw Creator take down Lambo 3-1, Bunny take down Hearthstone 3-1, and our final qualifying player will be DRG taking a clean 3-0 over Classic. That's a surprising result.
I'm telling you, mate. DRG, mate, he went to the ace match against Bjorn. He almost beat Bjorn during the Asia qualifiers, and even in those Asia qualifiers, I believe DRG also took down Classic, if I'm not mistaken, in an earlier round. So DRG, I say this all the time. He is so underrated. He is so underrated. Everyone memes like, oh, he's an old man. You know, he's the retired veteran, right? He's too slow to move his hands. You do it too,
I'm
Asher.
the head of the, yeah, I'm the head of the, I'm the president of the DRG hater fan club. Every time there's GSL, I'm like, O2.
Smurge, Papi Smurge. But over the past, I want to say 4 months of play, DRG has been looking damn strong, and he's been taking down big names as well, kind of, again, floating under the radar, but a 3-0 over Classic. Classic being the second best Protoss in Korea, by the way. Classic, who even took maps off of Raynor during the European qualifiers on ping. on ping. Classic was going toe-to-toe with Rainer, so for DRG to get the 3-0, very impressive.
You're trying to say it's a return of the DRG Evolved?
Return of the Dong. That's exactly what I said, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's go. Oh my god, DRG playing like it's Wings of Liberty, playing like it's 2011, mate. Let's go.
Yeah, the Lingbear meter goes hard. Honestly, I think it might be a good meta for it, just because so many people are going double robo. The meter player, I don't know, it's been pretty effective. We've seen Dark doing it as well, going for like these kind of out of control meter snowballs where he gets up to like 35 meters and just starts fighting the stalkers.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's crazy what he can accomplish there, and oh boy, GG, really well done by DRG, by all of our qualified players. And we can actually take this moment to switch over to the Liquipedia bracket, because we have a little bit more to get into as well. So we just that was our final match here for the open qualifiers. Tomorrow is the closed qualifier to determine who will actually make it to IEM Katowice, and we have some invited players. We have Trigger for the Protoss, we have Special for the Terran, and we have Chairman Scarlet for the Zerg.
Yeah, okay, so it's going to be a very interesting matchup of players, really. Oh, interesting. So Kellizer, because he qualified through Europe.
Yep.
Actually, that's really interesting. I don't know, why would he do that? I feel like America would be an easier route.
He just wanted to get it over with. He was like, you say that, he's like, mate, Europe, the easier region, mate. Why not just qualify?
Apparently, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So it's gonna be yeah, pretty interesting matchup of players. I feel like that's some very scary Koreans coming into this field. I'm looking especially at, I feel like Chairman Scarlet particularly seem to do very well against Korean Protosses when they're on their game. I feel pretty confident in one of those causing a big upset.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of it is also gonna come down to seeding as well, to see like who faces who in the first round. That's gonna be a big part of this. As we look at the bracket, again, the bracket is gonna be generated, I believe, over the next couple of hours. So keep an eye on social media. I'm sure ESL will be tweeting the bracket again later on in the day, later on in the evening. But as you can see here, it is going to be double elimination. Closed qualifiers are double elimination. 8 players go in, 4 players get those qualifying spots for IEM Katowice. So 50-50 here with who makes it in and who doesn't. I do, yeah. I likewise, as you were saying, I want to believe. I'm a bit of like a Scarlet fan, but I want to believe that Scarlet can do well here. Gumiho, it's gonna be a weird IEM if Gumiho doesn't make it through. I feel like Gumiho's been really in form, and yeah, it's surprising to see that he's had to go all the way to the final qualifier to have a chance at making it in.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Scarlet's always an interesting player in that if she turns up in form, she can beat anyone. Yeah. But if she's out of form, it's a different story. It's it's always kind of a question of often her motivation, really. Yeah, like she goes through like these different phases or waves of interest where, like, you know, at the start of the year, it's like she's playing Brood War, you know, after that, she's like working on her AI probots, right? Or at other times, she's like hardcore. It's Stormgate, or right? She's like isn't she one of the people behind? Is it Year Zero? I know Year Zero has some pro players. Yeah, Zero Space. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's No Safe Space. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there are sometimes other things that do take her attention, but when she's focusing on StarCraft, as you mentioned, like, she is one of the best. So yeah, it's gonna be a close one. I feel like Special's also a little bit under the radar just because he hasn't been looking as dominant in the region as he used to. Yeah. So yeah, Special's gonna be another wild card here, I feel.
Yeah, I don't think Special's been practicing quite as much lately. Unless he's been secretly grinding. I actually think Kellizer a better player at the moment. I agree. I think Kellizer is the stronger player. I mean, he's already qualified. That's how good he is. He's already in, Papi. He's already got that ticket. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Trigger, of course, a lot of hype around Trigger. You know, there's a lot of expectations as well, especially from the NA region. So
it's going to be some really good matches tomorrow, and really good diversity as well. You know, a 2-3-3 splits. You know, pretty balanced, man. Balance.
Yeah, Trigger's one of these players that I feel like we've just been waiting for his breakout performance. If he suddenly just blitzed through a bracket like this, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Oh yeah, exactly. He can pop off. Any of these players can pop off. So if you're interested, if you want to tune in for the final qualifiers for IM Katowice, that is tomorrow. Again, today was the qualifier for the qualifier. Tomorrow, that's where you're really duking it out to figure out who makes it to IM Katowice. We already have so many players making it in, and also my condolences to the players that didn't make it. You know, today there were a couple of upsets as well, but players that will not be making it through: Harstem, Ryung, Mana, Lambo, Wayne. A Laser was a big one, right? A Laser, unfortunately, despite being on home ground, won't be a part of IM Katowice.
Yeah, the story of the NA qualifiers was the Koreans shutting out the Europeans. So, go figure.
Yeah, Smurge, might be Smurge. Big shout out to Future. Like, Future had a good run as well. He didn't quite make it through. So, yeah, this was the final chance for a lot of these players, and that's the nature of the competitive scene here. Is, you know, there are winners, there are also losers.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, been an exciting bunch of games. I really enjoyed, especially the creator games. Creator's looking really strong at the moment.
Oh yeah, he looked impressive. Like, that was a really good like, showcase for Creator. At least looking dominant against Zerg. So hopefully Scarlet can avoid Creator. Like, Scarlet, likewise, I do think that her ZVP is maybe one of her weaker matchups. I think she's looking really damn strong against Terran, and scary against Zerg as well. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes to
what play Protoss.
True. Take a page out of Rainer's book. Outside of that, though, thank you so much for joining me today, Asher. Thank you. I know I had to ruin your Sunday morning and wake you up, you know, when the sun was still up.
I was awake already. You didn't wake me up.
Okay. Thank you. Copium. But yeah, if people wanted to tune in, Asher, you've been streaming more regularly recently, so what's up next?
Yeah. Probably not today, but there'll be a League stream probably in the next week. Maybe a StarCraft stream? I don't know.
Oh.
Depends. We'll see. I have streamed StarCraft recently.
You have?
And it wasn't great.
What do you mean? You said that you're still like at your level, right? Like, you're still...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped last time.
Oh, okay. True. Smooch. It's good to have you back, Bobby. Good to have you back. Good to see you active again. It's been a lot of good fun. There was like a Stardew stream at some point as well. That happens.
Yeah, morning Stardew. That's what I want to be doing at 11 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah. You get your crops going.
Vibing.
Yeah, exactly. Get your sombrero cow going.
Yeah. When's your next stream? You probably got a bit of time in the next few days.
I wish I'd. So, if you want some more live VIP action, I'm going to be live in a couple of hours with WTL. World Team League is going to be later on tonight in 8 hours. Sorry, my apologies. WTL is in 8 hours. Before that, in 5 hours, I'm going to be live with OSC Community Cup. That's going to be going on as well. So we do have 2 more broadcasts later on tonight. I'll be a part of that. Tomorrow in the morning, I am closed qualifiers at 11 a.m. So also going to be covering that. What I will say, though, after all the IM qualifiers finish, then we can stream. Then we can ladder, Papi. Then we can smurge on the ladder. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, M2. M2 is pretty low now. Shoot for it.
I think I'm like 4.4 at the moment, and M2 is like 4.5 something.
It's like 4.450 or something. Yeah, it's pretty low.
I can smell it, Papi.
Yeah.
I can smell it. I'll try.
Put it in the stream title. M2 Zerg.
True. GM Zerg.
True.
So yeah, I'll be streaming on my own personal channel at some point. !light in the chat if you do want to follow me there. Otherwise, as we mentioned, we are live every single day here on the CranKy Ducklings. Today we're live 3 times a day, covering so much StarCraft. So be sure you're a part of it. And yeah, there's plenty to go over. And yeah, thank you, Asher, for joining me this week. Thank you. It's been a while. We could make this regular, maybe.
Thanks for having me. Always happy to see some Terran gameplay.
Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. Also, big shout out to Rufus. That's really why I wanted you on. Look at it.
True.
Oh,
He's the star, yeah.
real fear. Beautiful, beautiful. Other than that, Asher, do you have anything you want to say before we head off? Anything?
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
No.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more IEM. We'll see you guys in 5 hours for OSC Community Cup. And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Rafa really making history. Absolutely phenomenal.
And Ace is the champion of the Intel Extreme Masters World Finals.
Storm's still not quite done. MC is going to take this fight, though. 3 seconds left.
Last 2 rounds of action's got to start it well for ESC.
And this is a massive move for Zez, but he's not content with just a Nexus kill. He wants to win.
And it's all done. And Charlotte's winning. Unbelievable Rogue with a 4-0 victory over Classic.
And they did it again in the grand finals. It's no